Ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, baseball fans alike, welcome back to historic Hicks Field on this Sunday night, and a hot Sunday night at that, for the 2020 Tidewater Summer League All-Star Game. My name's Patrick Foster. Welcome everybody into historic Hicks Field for tonight's All-Star break. Air quotes around the break for sure, as it's just one day off and then right back into TSL play for every team here. Tonight, we split up the TSL into the North and South, as the All-Star selections from the Tidewater Drillers and Edenton Steamers will represent the North All-Stars, and the South represented by the representatives of the Old Dominion Hitters and the Greenbrier Knights. Earlier today, we had our home run derby here at historic Hicks Field. Alberto Osuna Sanchez came away the victor, and my oh my did he have quite a performance. 28 home runs to Osuna Sanchez's total, including 12 in the final round. He needed 12 to win, as his Old Dominion hitter teammate but opponent in the final round of the home run derby, JT Inskeep, finished with 11 in the final round. Those two put on quite a show. But Osuna Sanchez coming away as the 2020 TSL Home Run Derby champion. We'll take you through the full rosters now. For the North and South, we'll start with the home team, or what's being considered the home team tonight, as the Edenton Steamers host tonight's festivities. Representing the South, my apologies, from the Edenton Steamers and the Tidewater Drillers. First for the Steamers, the hitters Houston Wright, Alan Alonso, Shane Easter, Josiah Seitler, Casey Hare, and Alan Brown. The pitchers out of the Steamers organization, Jake Rice, Colin Crimminger, who will be the starter on the mound for the Steamers tonight. Daley Marcano, Alex Shirazi, Ray Stokeham, Brett Folk, and Ryan Kutz. Representing the Tidewater Drillers on the South, Mason Dunaway of JMU, Jacob Mustaine of the Virginia Military Institute, Hogan Brown of Virginia Commonwealth University, Cam Reckling of George Mason University, South Trimble of George Mason, Cade Brewer as well. Wraps up the hitters out of Tidewater. The pitchers coming from the Drillers, Hunter Gregory, Joey Rodriguez, Aiden Kuehl, Kieran Conway, and Tanner James. As for the North, representing the Old Dominion hitters, Alberto Osuna Sanchez, Hunter Cole, Zach Morris, Zach Wonarowski, and Jordan Banks, along with JT Inskeep, make up the positional players. Coming from Old Dominion, Philip Forbes, Andrew Melnick, Jacob Favor, Jeremiah Hardy, and CJ Morris, the pitchers out of Old Dominion. As for the Greenbrier Knights, Wes Bonney, Ty Hanchy, Trent Hanchy, Trey Blow, Luke Uff, Ricky Sisto, and Warren Bailey will take the field and make at least one plate appearance tonight, while Jake Crumley, Joe Califano, Brennan Kastner, Luke Lageman, Zach Capps, and Bo Gonzalez will take the mound as representatives of the Greenbrier Knights. Bo Gonzalez against Edenton has always appeared as a positional player, but doubling as a positional player and pitcher on the Greenbrier Knights roster, has made the All-Star selection, gotten the nod as a pitcher in the rotation. First pitch coming up in tonight's All-Star game in just a few minutes. When we come back, our nation's colors along with our starting lineups here at historic Hicks Field. My name's Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball, only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network.
Number 34, Luke Lakeman. And number 15, Zach Katz. And number 37, Bo Gonzalez. The coaches are Charles Slaughter and Doug Ott. And now the starters for the North All-Stars. Leading off the shortstop from DNI, number 3, Zach Morris. Batting second, center fielder from Brian Stratton, number 2, Trey Blow. Designated hitter batting third from Walter State, number 27, Alberto Osunda Sanchez. Batting fourth, the second baseman for Walter State, number 17, Trent Hanchy. Batting fifth, the first baseman from DNI, number 8, Hunter Cole. Batting seventh, playing left field from King at number 10.
Starting lineups now for tonight's All-Star contest. First for the South, with the Edenton Steamers and Tidewater Drillers composing the lineup. Mason Dunaway, the shortstop out of JMU, leads off for the South. Casey Hare, the second baseman, headed to Milligan University from the Steamers, batting second. Houston Wright, the left fielder out of University of Tennessee Martin, representing the Steamers, batting third. Alan Alonzo, also from the hometown Clams, starting in right out of the University of Mount Olive. Josiah Seitler, the designated hitter, out of the University of South Carolina, batting fifth. South Trimble, the center fielder, out of George Mason, batting sixth. Jacob Mustaine, the first baseman, out of VMI, batting seventh. Shane Easter, starting at third in tonight's All-Star festivities, batting eighth. And Alan Brown, the catcher out of Presbyterian College, starting behind the plate in the 9-hole. As for the North, leading off from Old Dominion, Zach Morris at shortstop out of VMI. Trey Blow, the center fielder out of Bryan and Stratton College, batting second. Alberto Osuna Sanchez, the designated hitter out of Walter State Community College, batting third. Batting fourth, the second baseman, Trent Hanchy, of the two Hanchy twins on tonight's North All-Star roster, starting at second base, the sophomore out of Norfolk State. Hunter Cole, the first baseman and freshman at VMI, batting fifth. Wes Bonney, the left fielder out of King University, in left field, batting sixth. JT Inskeep, the catcher out of VMI, batting seventh. Ricky Sisto, the third baseman, heading to St. Andrews College, batting eighth. And Zach Wojnarowski, the right fielder out of Thomas Nelson Community College, rounds out the lineup for the TSL North All-Stars.
Batting third and playing left field from the University of Tennessee at Martin, number 22, Houston Wright. Batting fifth, the right field from the University of Mount Olive.
The umpires for tonight's competition, Eric Byram behind the plate, while Jeff Gardner and Craig Spate rule the infield.
Batting sixth and playing the center field from George Mason, number 14, South.
We'll go through the current standings of the Tidewater Summer League before today's nation's colors. The Edenton Steamers in first place as of right now with a 13-5 overall record. The Old Dominion Hitters under 500, but still in that second place spot after last night's walk-off win for the Greenbrier Knights. 8-9 are the hitters. Greenbrier at third with a 7-11 overall record, and the Tidewater Drillers fourth at 6-9. We hand our duties over now to our PA announcer, Tommy Bass, as we get set for our nation's colors here on All-Star Sunday at historic Hicks Field.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's national anthem is brought to you by the Daily Advance. They've proudly served Northeastern North Carolina for 108 years. Catch up on all your local news, including steamer scores and highlights. Read the latest issue of the Daily Advance or visit dailyadvance.com. We ask at this time, if you please stand, gentlemen, please remove your hats for the singing of the national anthem, tonight being performed by Cindy Moore.
Number 3, David McConnell,
Oh, sing, can you sing, by the dawn's early light, what so
Yeah, he is. Reckling is here. Yeah, 3. That's who he meant.
3 red ones.
Yeah.
So once they come here,
bright stars, where the power of love was bright, o'er the ramparts we walked, were so boundly streaming. On the rockers right by, the blocks bursting in out, joy full through the night. My heart's love was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of God?
Also for the South All-Stars from the Tidewater Drillers, number 3, Dan Redfield.
Just want to make sure. Yeah. No. Yeah, he likes the. Colin Greenbrier, the starter from the Edenton Steamers organization out of Montreat College for the South All-Stars. Greenbrier comes into today having played 4 games, making 3 starts for the Steamers in 2020, 17 2/3 innings under his belt with a win-loss record of 1-1, 6 earned runs allowed on the season with 12 hits, 8 walks, 17 strikeouts, 3 hit batters, and an ERA of 3.06. In fact, Colin Greenbrier was named last week's TSL Pitcher of the Week after picking up the win in 6 innings over the Tidewater Drillers, allowing no runs on 4 hits, giving up 2 walks, and striking out 6 batters. The only other Steamer to earn TSL weekly honors, Houston Wright, the left fielder, starting left fielder for tonight's South All-Stars, as he was named the TSL Hitter of the Week for Week 1's action here in the TSL. We touched on it in the lineup, but we'll take you around the defense now for the South All-Stars. Colin Greenbrier on the mound out of Montreat College. Alan Brown behind the plate out of Presbyterian College. Jacob Mustaine out of VMI at first base. Casey Hare headed to Milligan University, starting at second, typically the shortstop for the Edenton Steamers. Mason Dunaway, the shortstop out of JMU, at short. Shane Easter out of Eastern Michigan, starting at third. The outfield left to right. Houston Wright, South Trimble out of George Mason, and Alan Alonzo. Zach Morris will lead off for the North All-Stars against Colin Greenbrier to get tonight's action started. First pitch, swung on and missed. In fact, taken for ball 1. My apologies, had to look away for just a brief moment. Second pitch from Greenbrier, taken on the outer part of the zone for strike 1. So the count evens up to Zach Morris. We're going to have quite the slew of interviews tonight. I know we'll have our pitching coach from the Edenton Steamers, Connor Daly, come up early in tonight's contest. Marshall McDonald will also join us for at least an inning or 2. Morris takes a second pitch, or third pitch, for a called strike 2. The 1-2, swung on, takes a high bounce to Dunaway at short, throw across his body in the middle of the infield, in time at first for the first out of the inning. Mason Dunaway with a sharp defensive play over there at short. And that brings up Trey Blow. Blow out of the Greenbrier Knights. Blow takes the first pitch of the AB, low and inside. Blow comes in with an average of .268 at the plate, with 8 singles and a double and 2 homers under his belt thus far through 2020. First pitch, a strike. Second pitch taken for ball 1. Count even at 1-1. Blow, in fact, came out and made a pitching appearance. Not an actual pitching appearance, of course, but threw to Ricky Sisto during tonight's home run derby. The 2-1 to Blow, taken low and away for ball 3. Count moves to 3-1 with 1 away in the inning from a ground out from Zach Morris. The 3-1. Taken on the low inside corner for ball 2. That fills up the count. One of the hottest days of the year thus far here in Edenton. Heat index up at around 113. The 3-2. Fouled off the inside part of the bat. We are playing a full 9 innings in tonight's All-Star contest. Greenbrier with the 3-2 once again. Grounded to Dunaway at short. Second play of the inning for Dunaway. The throw over to first in time. Nice job by Mustaine fielding that ball in the dirt with the backhanded scoop for the second out of the inning. And that brings up today's home run derby champion, Alberto Osuna Sanchez. Sanchez, one of the leading hitters thus far. For Old Dominion in the TSL. First pitch from Greenbrier taken low and away for ball 1. Second pitch to Osuna Sanchez in the dirt. Osuna Sanchez with 7 home runs on the year, 24 RBIs to his credit, 15 runs scored as a base runner. A batting average of .390 coming into tonight's contest. Not that the All-Star game will have any impact, of course, on that season average. Two 2-1 the count to the designated hitter of the North All-Stars. 2-1 swung on and fouled in the dirt in the right-handed hitter's box. Osuna Sanchez having to take a couple steps out of the box. Might have clipped his front foot on that foul ball. Even count, 2-2. Two coming up from Greenbrier with 2 outs and no runners on for the North All-Stars. Pitch on its way. Foul tipped off the glove of Alan Brown. Now the 2-2 once more, taken high for ball 3. So Alberto Osuna Sanchez working the second full count AB. Tonight's All-Star contest. Osuna Sanchez in yesterday's contest against Greenbrier went 1 for 3 with a single and 4 plate appearances. The full count pitch popped up into shallow right field. Hare and Alonso. As Alonso makes the call off in the middle of the right field grass to put away the third out of the inning. No hits, no runs, no runners left on, no errors on part of the South All-Star defense. When we come back, top of the order due up for the South, that Mason Dunaway leading off. Casey Hare on deck, and Houston Wright also due up in the inning. 0-0 our score here at historic Hicks Field. Joe Califano, the starter for the North out of Greenbrier. When we come back, my name's Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Joe Califano, the starter for the North All-Stars tonight. Califano with 4 games under his belt and 2 starts. 13 innings pitched with a win-loss record of 1-1. 7 earned runs to his credit on 10 hits, 11 walks, 18 strikeouts, 2 hit batters, and an ERA of 4.86. Califano, an incoming freshman at Virginia Tech, where I believe he'll attend as just a student. So Califano should definitely take this time to soak up the experience as a member of the TSL North All-Star team. Mason Dunaway, the shortstop, leading off for the South. Fouls off. The first pitch of the AB, first pitch of the half inning. Oh, 1 to Dunaway, taken high and away. Dunaway out of Hickory High School, appeared in 6 games, making 2 starts for the Dukes at JMU. Earned himself an average of .250. Started his first collegiate game against NC State back on February 16th. And in fact, hit his first collegiate hit against Ryder. Scored twice in the contest. It was a double that he came away with on March 1st. Ryder, my older sister's alma mater. Dunaway with a swing on a 1-2 pitch, and he grounds the ball right back up the middle into center field for the first hit for either side tonight. So the South with 1 hit and a base runner. That brings up Casey Hare. Take you around the infield now for the North. Joe Califano headed to Virginia Tech on the mound. JT Inskeep at a VMI behind the plate. The pickoff move down to first is Dunaway. Got a little confused on the base pass. The throw from Inskeep in the dirt to Hunter Cole. His teammate at VMI and teammate on the Old Dominion hitters. Takes a hop in the dirt. Dunaway back in safely. Hunter Cole, as mentioned, out of VMI, starting at first. Trent Hanchey, the sophomore out of Norfolk State, at second. Zach Morris, also out of VMI, starting at short from the Old Dominion hitters, as Casey Hare takes the second pitch for a called strike. On the high outside corner, Ricky Sisto from SUNY Cortland, heading to St. Andrews for his final year of collegiate ball, starting at third. The 1-1 to Hare from Califano, taken high inside. Looked like a slider that came out of Califano's hand a bit too high. The outfield left to right. Wes Bonney out of King University in left. Trey Below out of Bryan and Stratton College. Both of them out of Greenbrier. And then Zach Wojnarowski from Old Dominion out of Thomas and Nelson Community College in right. Casey Hare takes a strike. Middle away. Count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner on first and none away here in the bottom of the first for the South All-Stars. Califano checking on Dunaway at first. Delivers the pitch to Hare. 2-2 popped up in the air to routine left field. Wes Bonney making a few steps over towards the foul line and left to make the first out of the inning. And that brings up Houston Wright. What a year Wright has had up to this point. Over halfway through the season. Wright with a .390 batting average. So right up there with Osuna Sanchez. 10 homers, 29 RBIs. And has crossed the plate as a runner 28 times. And leads the league in plate appearances as well with 86. Was eliminated by JT Inskeep in the second round of tonight's home run derby. The throw over to Cole at first. Dunaway takes off. Cole makes the throw down to second. And it looks like it might have hit Zach Morris, the shortstop, as Dunaway slides in safely. Morris coming to his feet. Hunter Cole making the way down to second, all the way from first to check on his teammate. Morris might have taken that one in the zone that shall not be named. As Courtney Phelps, the trainer here at Historic Hicks, makes her way out, my apologies, to short. JT Inskeep and Joe Califano talking things over. So Houston Wright ahead in the count, 2-0. Dunaway stands on second as the South has their first runner in scoring position tonight. The 2-0 to Wright, high and tight as he has to back out of the way just a bit. 3 balls and no strikes to Wright. The 3-0 to Wright. Taken down the pipes. Called strike 1. Wright wanted to go around on it, but held off on the 3-0. Count moves to 3-1. Solid socially distanced crowd here at Historic Hicks for tonight's All-Star contest. The 3-1. Down the middle once again. Looked like a changeup from Califano. Right under that pitch. A bit out of front of it as well. Count fills up at 3-2. Califano checking on Dunaway at second. The full count pitch. Nice slider. But an even better job by Houston right at the plate, holding off, as that slider was middle outside the entire way in until the very last second when it dropped out of the zone. The 3-2 fouled off. Count remains at 3-2. My apologies, the count was 2-2, but the way the sun's shining off the scoreboard out in right field, it looked as though that third ball slot was lit up. The count now is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out in the inning. Mason Dunaway out of Tidewater, standing on second. The 3-2 to right, taken high and inside for ball 4. So now 2 runners on for the South. And that brings up Alan Alonso, the big swinger out of University of Mount Olive. Alonso with 5 homers to his credit in TSL play. Ranks second in the league in plate appearances. Right up there with Jared Kaufman, both of them tied at 75 behind Houston Wright, who's got 86. Alonso with a .364 batting average. 2 doubles to his credit, along with 13 singles, 19 RBIs, and he's crossed the plate as a runner 22 times. 0-1 to Alonso following the first pitch foul off. Slider that's nowhere close. Taken for ball 1. The 1-1 to Alonso, grounded down the third base line. Sisto reaching out for it, but that one drifts too far foul and was fouled right out of the box. Count sits at 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 from Califano. Low and in the dirt. Dunaway on his way down to third. The throw from Inskeep in time as the tag is applied by Ricky Sisto for the second out of the inning. So the South goes from having 2 runners on with 1 in scoring position to now 1 runner on in Houston Wright, who did not move on the play, sitting over there at first. And an even count with 2 outs at 2-2 to Alan Alonso in the cleanup spot. The 2-2 from Califano. Swung on and missed strike 3. That ends the inning. 1 hit for the South in the bottom of the first. 1 runner left on. No runs come across. Nothing still our score.
Okay.
When we come back, Trent Hanchey leads off. Hunter Cole on deck, and Wes Bonney also due up in the inning for the North. Once again, 0-0 our score. My name is Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Vidant Health is your hometown healthcare provider. With 8 community hospitals across eastern North Carolina, Vidant is happy to serve you for any of your healthcare needs. Vidant also offers numerous wellness center facilities which allow for exercise rehabilitation activities. Be sure to visit your local Vidant centers in Edenton or Windsor and hit a home run with your healthcare provider today. Trent Hanchy, the second baseman and sophomore out of Norfolk State, digging in for the first time as an all-star. Takes the first pitch from Colin Greenbrier back on the mound for his second inning of work. Low in the dirt for ball 1. Second pitch to Hanchy. Also taken outside the zone. Count moves to 2-0. Hanchy takes the 2-0 for ball 3. 3 straight balls for Hanchy from Greenbrier. Start off the top of the second, 0-0 still our score. First strike from Greenbrier on the 4th pitch. Hanchy with a .275 batting average, 3-1 taken high for ball 4. Hanchy with 8 walks in the season. Hunter Cole now digging in for the first time. Cole went 1 for 3 yesterday against Greenbrier in the 11-10 loss up at Lakewood Park. A .340 average for Cole with 1 triple to his credit. A slow roller off the foot of Cole as he fouls it off. Walks out of the box. But still on his feet, digging back in. Just a stinger. Oh, 1 the count to Cole. 1 runner on following the leadoff walk to Trent Hanchy. Hanchy on his way down to second. The throw down from Brown, not in time. As Hanchy's in safely. Double play opportunity taken away from the South's infield. One the count to Cole. Pitch on its way, taken low and inside. Called ball 2. Count moves to 2-1. Two-1 to Cole, taken high above the zone. Count moves to 3-1. Greenbrier didn't allow a hit in the first inning. Walked the first batter at the top of the second. 3-1. Fouled off at the plate again. It looks like that one might have also hit Cole. Count fills up at 3-2. Cole with just 5 walks to his credit and 16 strikeouts. The 3-2 from Greenbrier fouled off. Cole drops to a knee. Cole, as pointed out to me by one of our former players, Cole Byers, a spitting image of Madison Bumgarner. And I'm not kidding. Like, people may laugh, people can say whatever they want, but this kid looks identical to Mad Bum. 3-2 taken in the dirt. Cole works a walk. Second walk of the inning for Greenbrier. Back at back. Walks, in fact. Now Wes Bonney digging in. Bonney with a .323 average to his credit in 2020. Oh, 0-1 the count to Wes Bonney. 2 runners on, no outs. Colin Greenbrier with the 0-1, swung on, grounded to the shortstop Dunaway, who steps on the bag at second for one. The throw over to first is in time. So just like that, the North goes from having 2 runners on with no outs to now 1 runner on and 2 outs. Granted, the runner on now Trent Hanchy at third. And JT Inskeep, who went all the way to the final round in today's home run derby, digging in for his first plate appearance against Colin Crimminger, looking to keep this a scoreless game before the bottom of the second. Stay tuned in the bottom of the second. We'll have the pitching coach from the Edenton Steamers, Connor Daly, joining us up here in the press box. First pitch taken for ball 1. Second pitch on its way from Crimminger. Swung on and missed. Count evens up at 1-1. Inskeep with a .250 average and 20 official at-bats. He's got a single, a pair of doubles, and a pair of home runs to his credit, but just 4 RBIs. Pitch in the dirt from Crimminger on the 1-1. Count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. And Inskeep in high school was a well-rounded athlete as the 2-1 is swung on, popped up in the air to left center field. South Trimble, the center fielder, making his way in to make the catch for the third and final out of the top of the second. No hits, no runs, 1 runner left on for the North, and Trent Hanchy on third base. We go to the bottom of the second, still scoreless. We come back. Josiah Seitler leads off in the 5th hole, followed by South Trimble and Jacob Mustaine, also due up in the inning. My name is Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball, only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Nothing. Still our score at historic Hicks Field between the North and South All-Stars. Andrew Melnick takes the mound for the North. Scoreless top of the second. Melnick with 5 games under his belt, 2 starts, a loss record of 2-1. 9 earned runs to his credit on 15 hits, 3 walks, and 17 strikeouts. I'm joined now by our pitching coach.
What's up, Patrick?
With the Edenton Steamers. An interview I've been waiting for.
I've been waiting for it too, man.
I feel like we should just make this known to everyone right now. He's my roommate.
Yes, I am. Proudly.
Full host Bob Hopkins.
What a guy.
Can't say enough about him.
Rhode Island proud.
Rhode Island proud, absolutely. So we're 18 games into the season. Obviously, it's 13-5 overall record, first place here in the TSL. What have you liked thus far out of the bullpen, of the starters that you've seen, and what are some things that you definitely want to improve as we get closer to the playoffs?
Well, number one, our bullpen's gotten way better. at the beginning of the summer, I think you could see the COVID lag. You could tell that there was a that grace period that I had to afford them because 3 or 4 months where you're not able to do things, carry ball, where you're not able to do things normally. And I got no idea what to expect from guys coming in as far as what they've been able to do, bullpens, arm preparation, and whatnot. But now that lag's kind of over, they're a month in, you're in your groove. We've really improved out of bullpen because really the only games we've lost, and these guys, I got no problem saying this, they know it, have been lost in the bullpen. I think our starters are starting to get a little bit winded as the summer's gone on. It's your first time really, you didn't get to get that spring work in where you were in a rotation. But at the same time, they've done really well. Most of the guys on the All-Star team for us that are pitchers are starters. But recently our starts have not been as good as I want, but I don't expect that to stay consistent.
South Trimble digging in now after Josiah Seidler reported as the first out of the fly ball to left. How about the performance you saw?
Kid put on a show, man. And before the Derby, he's talking about, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hit him out. I doubt it, my man. Really impressive. Hit 9 in 2 rounds. Back-to-back rounds, put up 9 or 10 maybe in the second round. I was really impressed. Kid's a really good kid, too. Plays every position. Good flat swing.
So you're heading into yet another year at Catawba Valley Community College as an assistant coach.
Yes, sir.
You have some players here, Nick Roser.
And,
you have some plenty of experience with a lot of little line pitchers.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about how that has helped you coach and in ways hindered your ability to coach these guys, with some of them knowing you as both a player and now being their coach.
I think it's really because of the relationship I have with those guys, it doesn't hinder at all. Just with I know Brett Folk and Ray Stokeham, them have been up here. I played 3 years with Brett, and me and Brett, when you come into it as 2 mature guys, we understand the relationship. If Brett needs my help, he's going to ask me. I don't have to go out of my way to, overly coach Brett, and I can't. That would be, an unrealistic expectation. And because we have that understanding as 2 just, 23, 24-year-old dudes, we haven't had that issue. And Brett's done a really, really good job for me out of the bullpen. I think he's working at a mid-1 ERA, hardly ever runs his pitch count up. He's actually going to throw the 6th tonight. And then, Ray and Shaw's were younger guys. They were freshmen when I was a junior, and I had influence with Ray a lot early in his career, toughening up mentally, and that respect's already there. So if anything for me, it's preset validation when I come into a bunch of guys that don't know me. I'm a young coach, I'm not in their face early. I understand that. You can't be condescending as a young guy. You're still very close to being one of them. And so for me, those guys already having that relationship makes it easier for other guys to feel comfortable with me and also know that I can help them out if they need it. And, some of these guys, like Jake Rice is a dude who's, only a year and a half younger than me. Very smart, both intellectually and just as a baseball guy. And we have, conversations that help me out as a coach. And I think in order to be a good coach, especially a good young coach, the ego check has to be real. There is no ego anymore. I can learn from anybody. And so having older guys like that mixed in with what is really a predominantly younger staff has been really good for me. Because my staff last summer was very young. Oh, nice shot. My staff last summer was really young. And I think it showed because there was a month there where I had to really develop that relationship just because, you're either uncoachable as a young guy or you're so bought into your coach at school that you're not even going to bother with your summer ball guy, which is fine. That's your decision. But at the same time, if we're struggling, I'm there to help. So that's been really good this summer. I have a very good relationship with my pitching staff, which helps.
Still just 1 out in the inning. Jacob Mustang.
Trouble.
Fly ball to shallow left in foul territory. Wes Vonnie not able to make his way over in.
Can't lay out there. Would have broke his neck on that fence.
South Trimble picking up a stolen base in tonight's contest. Now standing at second base, the second runner in scoring position tonight for the South. First runner in scoring position in the inning. So I had Jake Rice up here during the home run derby, and when I was talking to him, the whole, I really put it, how to put it, I'm not exactly sure, but he said coming into this season it's tough because having the spring season taken away, it kind of changes the complexion and your approach as a pitcher coming into a summer league season, because this is now your real season. It's Mustang singles to right.
That's going to score us, baby.
Being waved around third, the throw comes in. And the throw at the plate.
Oh, we got the man we want up. We got the man we want up.
How's it feel to see your team come up with the first run in today's game?
Hey, look, I take every game, not as serious today just because it's an all-star game. It's about fun, but Marshall's the same way. When we on a baseball field, we're there to win, no matter how relaxed.
So what I was getting at was, Jake Rice said coming into this season, typically a summer league season, it's a little bit more casual. You're allowed to take a bit of the load off and just kind of work on things without the mounting pressure that comes with a typical
Right.
collegiate baseball season. However, the pass ball, Jacob Mustang's going to advance to
We're
second.
surrounded by uncertainty right now.
With
And-
that uncertainty, no one knows that there's a season really upcoming. We all hope that we will see a 2020-21 season. However, with the lack of a season in 2019-2020, Rice says that does put a little bit more pressure on him coming, and most players coming into this summer season.
Absolutely.
How do you as a coach approach these players now, knowing that uncertainty has so much changed the complexion of these guys' mindsets and overall the season?
I think there's two answers to that. Number one, it varies by guy. I'm very a big believer in not doing a cookie cutter approach. We're talking about dealing with 18 to 22-year-old boys and men. You know, they're not all men, and that's just the reality of it, because some of these guys are still really growing up. Really, we all are in our own way. And so knowing that as a young guy, you got to, without being pushy, push the initiative of the fact that you have to take advantage of the time you have now, and also, you know, preach the perspective to understand that you're very lucky and fortunate to be playing right now, because so many guys aren't. You know, it's work that other guys aren't getting, whether it be guys are sitting at home doing bullpens, guys are sitting at home doing nothing, or, you know, you're having to scraggle together high school teammates to do live ABs. You're getting real game work in a spring schedule where you didn't get to do, you know, get your starts in. Because a lot of times when it comes to summer ball seasons, like a guy like Jake Rice isn't even playing summer ball. This is his first ever summer ball season because he's always been a starter, and so he hits that innings limit in the spring. And so come summertime, he's not pitching. And so, you know, that's different. Speaking of Jake Rice, he's coming in right now. But, you know, you got to, and Jake's somebody that is a perfect example of somebody that understands how important that is to come out here. You know, he's been blowing guys away with heaters and not had to do much more. But if you watch him in his outings, he could be in the third, 7 strikeouts on all heaters, but now he's starting to spin sliders because he's working on stuff. That's a mature approach to baseball. And, you know, it also helps because, like, I'm not pitching anymore. I can coach a lot, but at the same time, we're talking about he's leading by example. Give something for younger guys. And I think one thing me and Marshall have really preached about this group is just the gratitude and the understanding of how fortunate they are to be playing, because our guys, for the most part, bring it every day and try to get better. You know, we're out here at 3:30 for BP and early work. Almost all of our offensive players come from early work. That doesn't happen. You know, it's because they want to be here. They enjoy being here. They enjoy each other. I mean, look at them. They've got players out here limboing in between the All-Star game. Our guys don't even have to be here today, but they want to be here. And I think that says the most. And if you create that environment, the work come with it. Because you can't create a stress environment in summer ball regardless of the situation. Because for them, you know, yeah, the COVID's made it crazy, but if I continue to make it crazy, then we're staying in a whirlwind versus setting it up like what it is. But just in that underlying thing, preparing you for, like, hey, this is your time to really get some work in, because you don't know what you're going into in the fall. Take advantage of your time because you don't know when you're going to be back on the mound against live batters.
One run comes across in the bottom of the second on just one hit for the South. They lead 1-0 heading into the top of the third. When we come back, Jake Rice takes the mound. I'll still be joined by Connor Daly.
16, Jake Rice.
Once again, 1-0 our score. My name's Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. The Albemarle Area United Way is a nonprofit organization that improves residents' lives in 9 counties throughout northeastern North Carolina. This year, the Steamers have partnered up with the United Way and are looking forward to helping raise money for their services. On Saturday, July 25th, the Steamers will be wearing specially themed patriotic jerseys for their game. The jerseys will be auctioned off during the game, and all proceeds will go back to the Albemarle Area United Way. If you would like to have this one-of-a-kind jersey, be sure to be here that night and support a good cause. Ricky Sisto leading off in the inning. Jake Rice, the new pitcher on the mound. We were just talking about Jake Rice. Rice made his last start against Peninsula in the exhibition contest back on the 15th. You talk about him coming in and just making an immediate impact on this rotation. And he was a late addition. Going into his 5th year, though, what do you think are some of the things Jake Rice does need to work on in order to boost that draft stock up, being as old as he is?
I think his heel plays up. You know, he's got a good body. He's very confident in his fastball. He moves well. So as a scout guy, you know, So I got developed a little bit late. He's a JUCO kid who, came into Presbyterian. But, you don't really see him 92 to 96 mile lefty at Presby and on a Friday night. And, JUCO, I think he was, from what he tells me, most of his upper 80s guys really bought into his body. Moves incredibly athletic. You can watch him. It's impressive what he does with his lower half. It's got a lot to do with why he's good. I think the biggest thing for him, we talk about it pretty much right now, is breaking ball. He's a good breaking ball. He has to trust it. He's got to be able to hit for a strike. If you're going to be a pro top
Thomas Nelson, number 16, is that going to the right?
Started the third pitch. You trust him in his own. He can get some chases or just change your eye level and beat these guys with the heater. He rolled into Kennesaw State this spring. You're talking about a different kind of hitter all the way through the lineup than what he's seen this summer. And that's not knocking these other guys. It's just the reality of the spring college baseball season. He's going to need to work through the lineup 2-3 times. He's got that kind of stamina. He's going to need to have those pitches. Some of that hitter eventually got some time you up. But he's, again, that self-reflection, his self-awareness is extremely high and very mature in his approach. I'd say he has a really good chance. I mean, the only thing really he has going against him would be his age. And I think, in a day and age where there's so much more out there to help you improve. And you're talking about, there's a 29-year-old signed with free agency last year at 100. It's that 1 million things short, but that makes a guy Jake Rice, and it's not as far of a reality when you hear about something.
Absolutely.
Definitely going to have a good chance. You know what? The biggest thing for me is when good people win, that guy deserves it. So I think that shot will be
Once again, he is Connor Daly, the pitching coach here for the Edenton Steamers. So, a young coach in yourself, only 24 years old, not too many years removed from being a player yourself. We kind of touched on that earlier and how you approach coaching guys that you played with previously. As Jake Rice now puts up back-to-back punch-outs.
All strikeouts, all fastballs. What an animal.
So I'm going to put the mirror in front of you and ask you to do a bit of self-analysis. You're only in your third year of coaching. What do you think that you need to improve on? And what do you think that being 24 years old really allows yourself to, I guess, have an advantage on it being such a young coach?
Bad idea. I think there's only two ways to really look at being a young coach, because you're going to take it one of two ways. And this is just in my personal experience, what I've learned, because I choose to learn from the good and the bad. And I feel like that's the only way to do it. You're only going to learn so much from what you do right. You got to learn from what you do wrong. And I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't improve every year that you're out there. And like you said, this is technically my third summer. I feel like I was playing yesterday. And for me as a young guy, why would you lose sight of that? It's either a disadvantage because you're so young, because you're not acting like it anymore, and therefore I'm thinking of myself as a player. Put yourself in their shoes. You have that perspective now to be out of their shoes but know what it's like to be there. How would you respond to that? If I'm responding to me in a comfortable way, one, I don't know these guys when they get here. It's summer ball. But if I'm in your face and your first time on the mound, I've never seen you before. Keep that in mind. And I'm over here drilling you on what you need to do better. I'm looking at you like, what do you mean, man? It's the first time you've ever seen me. So naturally, I'm not going to do that. I like to, and also like I said earlier, it's not a cookie cutter approach. Some guys I got to let come to me. Some guys I know, Joe Kimmelage is a dude who's quieter, but really wants to learn. And so I come to him, and it's a conversation more so than it is me talking at you. Nobody responds to that. We're learning off conversation because, number one, I'm not always going to be there. Whether it be, obviously, wherever they go in school, I want my impact to be residual. I want it to stay there. There's longevity in it. I still talk to summer ball guys from my first ever team. Nick Roser, like you said, is a guy on this team who I coached my first summer. And I think that speaks volumes. And also, like you said, I'm coaching guys that I played with. But if you watch how I interact with them, that can tell you all you need to know about how I interact with the other guys. Because if those guys can have respect for me in a coaching manner, and that they don't call me coach. I don't need you to call. I'm 24 years old. I don't want to feel like a coach. I'm not old. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't need a name behind it in order to validate what I'm doing. It's a respect thing and how you act. If I ask for something, they do it. Always. I don't have to deal with backlash because, I try my best to be consistent. I think that's the biggest thing. You can't come out here moody because then the players don't know how to react to you. At that point, you're not approachable, and you have to be approachable. If we can't have a conversation, we can't learn. And I think I like to think I do a good job of communicating and understanding how guys are different. As far as getting better, and I think this is good for most young coaches, there's days when my emotions aren't in check. And I'm aware of that. I'm an emotional guy. I put everything into what I'm doing because I love to do this. If I didn't love to do this, I wouldn't be out here on the field today in 109 degrees, me and Marshall, get it done. But, it's like that grind of it you love that part too. And, that's how Marshall has really helped teach me that, because as a player, I wasn't a grinder. I was very caught up in the moment, which is a good thing. You need to be caught up in the moment or you're losing track of what's going on. There's a lot of distractions that come from not being in the moment. Marshall kind of has really helped me in just embracing the grind, and that's something that I think I struggled with before. Now that I'm, really like taking that into home and really embracing the grind of it, that's going to help me advance, because the fact of the matter is, for another 6 years, I'm still going to be a young coach. When you're 30, you're hitting that threshold, you've been around for a while. But to me, if you're under 30, you're a young coach. Even when you're 30, you're young, but like we're talking about 6 more years that I have to be young has to be an advantage. You're allowed to mess up, because if you're messing up when you're older, you wasted 6 years that you had to learn, and you haven't learned yet, and now you're messing up now later in your career versus I'm learning now so that I can use it later. We have a big thing at CV. There's no L's. There's just lessons. It's not a loss. The opponent is irrelevant. I'm learning from self-reflection, holding ourselves accountable, communicating with our guys, communicating with yourself, like you said. Like, put the mirror on yourself. I do that every morning. Is that always easy? Absolutely not. Some days I'm like, dude, you blew it today. But you got to be okay with that. Are you learning from it, or are you going to do it again tomorrow? And my dad's big on, big-time lesson. Today beat you, but you're going to wake up tomorrow and punch tomorrow in the face. And I take that into coaching. And it's only done nothing but help me up to this point. So I like to think of being a young coach as an advantage more so than a disadvantage. And there's always more to learn as far as getting better. There's so much information out there now. If you're not learning something every day, it is only your fault. And that's the biggest thing for me. I try to come out here every day and learn something, whether it be something wacky or something that's like right in front of you that whole time.
So Mason Dunaway picks up a hit.
Oh, it's laced.
Jake Rice finished up the top of the third scoreless against the North, picking up 2 punch-outs in the inning. Casey Hare digging in for his second time tonight. Hare popped out in his first plate appearance.
He's been swinging it well lately.
He absolutely has. Now, let's talk about the head coach, Marshall McDonald, someone that you definitely had plenty of experience with, someone as a player and now as a coach. How do you think that he's handled this head coaching position with the Steamers? Because let me tell you, every single guy that has come up here has had nothing but positive things to say about Marshall.
Because it's impossible not to, honest to God. And this isn't me, I'd tell him, I'd tell anybody that want to know. That dude could have told me to go to Alaska and I was coming. You know what I mean? And I mean that the most.
He's been to Alaska, so that was very possible.
Right, exactly. He played in Alaska. Dude's been all over the place, man. And like I said, there's a piece of nice play. There's a piece of who Marshall is that's very we're very different, but at the same time we approach baseball the same, especially summer ball. And to me, I've played with Marshall in the summer when he was assistant coach. I played against him when he was a head coach. I've coached against him last summer. That dude creates an environment if you let him be himself, an environment that enriches fun and you're playing ball. That is it. And at the end of the day, in a summer ball environment, in order to get better, it has to be that way. And I think that speaks volumes. The guy, he's uncomparable, man. There just isn't. I mean, obviously the look says enough, but honestly, how he just handles the guys, you can't shake that, man. If he mad, you messed up. You know what I mean? Because we aren't having 30-minute talks after the game, drilling you. We're playing 20 days in a row. I can't do that. Guys check out, and like I said, I do my part, and I support Marshall on everything he does. But as far as our guys coming out here every day, ready to be here, we got guys not dressed out for the All-Star game in the dugout cheering on dudes. That speaks to Marshall. I'm just falling in line, helping him create that environment that because he does that, that's why I wanted to be here with him, because that's how I feel like it should be. We both came from situations last summer. You get a play-by-play right there. What was that?
Houston Wright just thrown out at first. There was a bit of confusion. So keep going. My apologies.
No, you're fine. I'm trying to keep up too. But Marshall coached me my first summer as an assistant, fresh out of Indy ball, raw, young coach. And he was a different breed, man. And, that's 7 years ago, which is, it kind of makes me sick to my stomach to think about. But, baseball coaching and baseball playing, but baseball is about relationships. All sports are, but the baseball world is very tight-knit. And so, I play for Marshall there. The head coach of that team, Paul Roselle, is the head coach at my JUCO now, who I coach for. He's my boss, and my brother played for them because I'm playing that summer. I'm like, my little brother's a senior. He just hit a growth spurt. JUCO's the route. Matthew goes there, plays 2 years, and now he's on the #1 team in the country at North Greenville. Boom, relationship. I get done playing. Paul Roselle, the head coach of CV, hits me up, and he's like, look, Marshall talked to me because I had talked to Marshall about, I think I want to coach because I never wanted to coach. It wasn't the plan. I went into college pre-law, man. But, something hit me my senior year as a leader on a younger baseball team. Like I can do, there's impact here that I can make with longevity. And, I kind of found a niche. And Mooresville Spinners, two of my buddies asked me to go coach them. We were the youngest coaching staff in the league that year, 24, 22, and 22. We won a championship. We're out of our mind. Our guys were bought in. Very similar to here, but in a smaller stature. And, and at that point, I'm hungry. I was all in. And I have been every moment since. There's been moments I checked out, but Marshall's a guy I can call about that. I'm like, I'm checked out right now. I need to talk to you because the dude, he does not judge, period. It's clear, it's pure, it's genuine, and you can't fake that. You know what I mean? And I think guys respond to that. And so when you're allowed to be yourself, you're confident. We got characters in that dugout, brother, and you know that. You're around them enough. You're all around the team, There's not a dull moment, like literally never. We're in a rain delay, we're on a 2-hour bus, don't matter. No dull moment. And I think that speaks a lot to Marshall. It really does. I think we both have that personality. We're different, but we have personality. And players have personality. And personality has to come out in how we approach things so you can do what you got to do. And that's what we play well, I really think. Because even on nights when we bad, 2 nights ago we down 5-0 in the first. Me and Marshall are chilling. Next thing you know, it's 22-8 and the game's over. You know what I mean? No, there's no panic in summer ball. Hey, play your game, my man. And, I think that it's incredible, really. I come out here every day ready to work for the dude. And, if he asks me to do it, I'm going to do it. And I can be hard to deal with. I know that, and I'm growing in that as far as self-improvement stuff. I'm a very different kind of approach to how I do stuff, but he lets me be myself. And then when I'm allowed to be myself, just like players, I can do my best work. And I can't thank him enough for that. And the opportunity, man.
Who came in to pitch? Hunter Gregory. One run comes across for the South in the bottom of the third inning. 2-0 is our score as we get set for the top of the fourth. We come back. Hunter Gregory, the new man on the mound for the North, as they trail by 2. My name is Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball in the TSL 2020 All-Star Edition. And I said 23 times. It's hot up here. I'm starting to lose brain cells. My name is Patrick Foster. You're listening to Tidewater Summer League All-Star action only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Correct. 2-0 our scores. We get set for the top of the fourth. Hunter Gregory on the mound for the South. We're still joined by Connor Daly, the pitching coach of the Edenton Steamers. So Connor, what we're going to do now is something I've done with basically everyone that's come up from the booth. We're going to do a rapid fire.
I'm ready to go.
These questions actually start relatively easy.
Okay, here we go.
A little bit more elaborate as we go on throughout, and be free to elaborate as much as you feel.
I'm intrigued.
As much detail as you think necessary.
Good pitch.
I don't know why I'm starting with this because being a roommate, I know how hard of a question, or how easy of a question this is going to be. But favorite music artist?
Jermaine Cole. J. Cole, North Carolina repping, absolutely.
Favorite song?
Ooh. By J. Cole?
It can be by anyone. That's something I should clarify.
We'll say it's by J. Ooh, that's tough. J. Cole, Crunch Time. We'll throw it back for the favorite song tonight. That's the kind of mood I'm in. Ooh.
Trey Blow with the single right back up the middle. Hunter Gregory dodging a bullet as Blow reaches for
one song
for the North today. Favorite food?
Favorite food. Can't go wrong with a good steak, man.
You know how many people have said a good, not just a steak, a good
steak. You know there's a difference.
Yeah, those 3 words. A good steak.
It's a big. Hey, there's a big difference, man. And look,
absolutely.
Because a bad steak, hey, that might not be what you're feeling that night. Good steak, never go wrong. Put whatever you want with it. I'm in.
Favorite fruit?
Strawberries. Had some this morning, courtesy of Bob.
Strawberries at Bob's.
I had a good bit this morning, man.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, appreciate that, Bob. Cut them up good.
7 into my Honey Bunches of Oats.
If Bob's listening, had them strawberries ready to go this morning.
Favorite baseball team?
St. Louis Cardinals.
Favorite baseball player?
Of all time or right now?
Right now.
Right now, out of pure respect, I'm going to stay with my man Yadier Molina just because he's goated.
Favorite
And
all time?
All time, Ken Griffey Jr.
Favorite steamer? Osuna Sanchez rips one off.
Oh, nice play off the wall, Houston.
Houston's right point.
Favorite steamer. Oh, man, I'm going to hurt some feelings. Can I go pitcher and position player?
Sure, why not?
All right, my favorite pitcher, just because he's been playing for 7 summers, I'll give Brett Folk the nod. You know, out of
One heck of a golfer.
right. You know, a weirdly athletic guy to be so awkward and just absolutely bow-legged. Yeah, he was in my weightlifting group when we were in college, and I've seen that man do some extremely uncomfortable-looking things.
I had Brett and Colin Crimminger up in the booth at the same time.
Personality. That's my only word.
Both of them were just-
Colin Crimminger could make a very close argument for second play. I love that guy. I mean, he's unbelievable. Position player, I mean, oh, no, absolutely. I mean, it's between two, because Josiah Siler's got an unbelievable personality, but you can't, there's no human out there like Shane Easter.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I worked 2 camps this summer, kid camps. I'm like, Shane, man, after he worked the first, I'm like, you come back for the second one for me? I need you out there because he's helping me run the camp. The kids love him. I don't know how anybody on this earth could not love that guy. His energy is so pure and genuine and just positive always. First day in the locker room, him and Jebediah, Jake Kaufman, from both good friends from Eastern Michigan, same school. Ooh, foul ball. They come walking in the locker room, they're one of the first people there. Shane comes, whoa, you know, yelling, summer ball, baby. And I'm like, you, man, I'm in on you. Big fan already. Like, we've been here for 10 minutes. My man's ready to go. And, you know, that's big because when that guy's already there in the center of it, the locker room opens up around him. It's unorthodox leadership, but it's real. You know, that guy right there would never consider himself a leader. I promise you. Bring him up here right now. He'll tell you, no. But, like, he leads in such a real way just by being himself. And, I'm in awe of the dude every day. He plays every position, man. No, we could ask him to catch. He's in. He told me now. I said, hey, Shane, you're 911. If we need an arm, he's like, buddy, I got you. So, hey, who knows? Maybe we'll see Shane on the mound tonight.
Trent Hanchy goes down swinging for the first out of the inning. 2 runners on, no runs yet to come across for the North here in the top of the 4th inning.
Big fan of this kid at the plate.
Connor, your favorite baseball memory as a player?
Ooh.
He just did about a 1.5 foot lean back in his chair as there's a ground.
Look, man, I did my best, and I think every player owes this to themselves. I did my best to enjoy everything, every moment. And, you know, when it's all said and done, that final little ticker in, you know your career's up. You remember the moments with the guys, you know, more than anything. You don't remember wins and losses. I mean, you remember if you were good or not. But, you know, favorite one. I'll go most recent because this one will stay in my mind forever. This weekend goes down in history for all of us. That's my senior year at LR. We opened up conference play at Catawba, our rival, who's a storied program, you know, World Series appearances frequently. They are always at the top of the South Atlantic Conference. You know, they're the Yankees of our conference. And we rolled in there. We had not beat them at 3rd place in 10 years. And we beat them on Friday night behind our ace, John Grigg, and then, you know, I actually pitched that night, had a really good night. Best thing I remember about that night, because we ended up winning the series. It was also one of my good friend's 21st birthday, so the party when we got back is legendary in itself. But that Friday night, it's a 2-2 bang out. It's sold out as far as, you can't ask for a better Division II crowd on a Friday. And I had my 2 good innings out of the pen. I come out of the game, it's still tied. We hit a go-ahead homer, top 9. Off a pinch hit, go-ahead homer. Kid, first debut of the season. Laces one out of right. We're going wild. They get a couple guys on, bottom 9. I'm not kidding with you. We turn a triple play in the game of the night. What more can you want, man? Our team's on the dugout before our team is on. I'm on the mound before the play's even over. We ain't called the 3rd guy out. But like the catch was so insane. Justin Dean's still with the Atlanta Braves right now. Probably the best defensive outfit I've ever seen. And, you know, we're all out here in awe on the field. The game's about to end on a triple play. It was insane. So I can't discount that one. That would be number 1 for me right now.
So, Connor, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I want to get you back down to the field. I'm going to ask one last question before you go.
All righty. Make it a good one, Pat.
We're halfway through the season, 13-5. What is your dream for this team by the end of the 2020 season?
Oh, hey, look, now, it's win it all or nothing. We're here to win it all, and we came in here with that expectation. And again, me and Marshall believe in and this is no disrespect to an opponent, but the opponent's irrelevant. We stay on us, and we come out here every day and bring it, and everything else will take care of itself. And, you know, me and Marshall also said our goal was only 7 losses. We got 5, so we really have to play some good ball here down the stretch, but I feel good about it. And, you know, me and Marshall do have a set goal for only 7 losses, which would be incredible. But regardless, we're at a good place, like you said, in first. And once the playoffs roll around, it's go time, and we want to go home with it all. If you come out here with an empty trip, you know, you take the lessons from it and you enjoyed it. But, you know, everybody want to go home a winner.
Once again, he is Connor Daly, pitching coach for the Edenton Steamers. Connor, thanks so much.
Enjoy it, Pat. You the man.
I'll see you after the game.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully grab some grub with Bob. 2-0 still our scores. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. My name's Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network.
The only time I'm here,
Regulator Marine is a locally owned and operated boat builder who crafts the best center console sport fishing boats in the business. Built in North Carolina and tested against the challenging conditions of the Outer Banks, Regulator boats are seriously tough sport fishers known for their exceptional fit and finish, as well as a dry, soft, and comfortable ride. Designed for ultimate fishability, incredible comfort and serious performance at every turn, each boat in their line delivers maximum versatility as you pursue the offshore life. Josiah Seitler digging in for the second time tonight. Seitler flew out to left field in his first plate appearance. Rips the 1-0 to center field. Trey Blow just making a few steps over to his right to make the catch for the first out of the inning. Jacob Favor, the new pitcher on the mound, number 19 out of the Old Dominion Hitters franchise. 7 games played for Favor, 1 game start under his belt. 10 innings of work thus far, a win-loss record of 1-0. 2 earned runs to his credit on 11 hits, 4 walks, and 13 strikeouts. South Trimble now digging in. Trimble walked in 4 pitches in his first at-bat. Sees the first strike of his night as the count moves to 0-1. Oh, the count to Trimble. 0-2. Bit of a reaching swing, but he grounds a soft ground ball towards first, just past the outstretched glove of a diving Hunter Cole. And Trimble earns his first hit tonight. He's 1 for 1. And now Jacob Mustaine, who brought home an RBI back in the bottom of the 2nd for the first run of the game, digs in with the South still leading 2-0 here in the bottom of the 4th. Mustaine hit a grand slam here in Edenton in the 15-7 win. The Drillers took over the Steamers here at historic Hicks just a few weeks back. It was the first grand slam historic Hicks had seen in the 2020 summer. Mustaine a .312 batting average. As we take a break from TSL play with today's All-Star game. Second AB starts off with a ball high and away. Takes a second pitch for a ball as well. Mustaine made his last appearance against Old Dominion on the 16th, went 1 for 2 in 4 plate appearances with just a single. Brought in 2 RBIs though. Came in to score twice and struck out once in the contest. 13 RBIs to his credit on the season. He's also walked and struck out both 5 times. 2-0 still the count to Mustaine, with Trimble standing off first with 1 out already recorded in the inning on a leadoff fly out. to center field. The 3-0. Taken outside for ball 4. So now a pair of base runners for the South All-Stars with just one out in the inning. Shane Easter digging in. The favorite of most Steamers, if not already made apparent by all the answers to the question, who's your favorite Steamer, in the interviews we've been doing. Easter 0 for 1 with a fly out to right and just 3 pitches back in the second. First pitch in this at-bat taken low and outside. 1-0 the count. Two runners on, just 1 out in the inning. South Trimble in scoring position for the South, taking a lead off a second. Check swing from Shane Easter, but not even appeal, as it's ruled a strike in the zone. Count moves to 1-1. Easter with a .345 batting average in TSL play. 2 homers to his credit. One of his home runs, a game-tying bottom of the 9th home run against the Tidewater Drillers in the 7-6 walk-off victory the Steamers saw back here at home. Ground ball back up the middle. That one gets through into center. South Trimble being waved around third, and he comes in to score as a runner for the second time today. The South takes a 3-0 lead.
Alan Brown.
Alan Brown digging in. Brown 0 for 1 today with a fly out to second. $3-0 our score here in the bottom of the 4th. The South All-Stars lead over the North. Alan Brown making his second plate appearance. Swings and misses in the first pitch. Fastball high and in. 0-1 the count. 2 runners on. Jacob Mustaine off of second. Easter off of first. With just 1 out in the inning. Brown takes the second pitch for a ball outside. Count moves to 1-1. Pitch from Favor, inside and low. Count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1, taken low and away.
Do me a favor, when you get down there, remind Marshall to come up and I'll gear up now. Don't let him talk crap.
The 3-1 swung on and fouled off. Count, in fact, 2-2. A lot of commotion here in the press box today. Got people moving in and out, so I got a bit distracted. Brown takes ball 3, a hopper over the mitt of JT Inskeep. Both runners advance on the play, so now 2 runners in scoring position for the South All-Stars. With a full count. And the pitch coming up to Alan Brown. If Brown can find a way to reach first, go back to the top of the order with Mason Dunaway on deck. The 3-2 swung on, and that one's ripped on a line down the third baseline. That one squeezing right in between Mustaine, the runner, and James Stalin Jr., the third base coach for the South All-Stars today. Marshall McDonald getting a break from coaching third tonight. 3-2 taken for a called strike 3. Alan Brown down on strikes. And now Mason Dunaway digging in. Mason Dunaway with an impressive day thus far. We will be naming an offensive and defensive player of the game after tonight's contest. And as of right now, Dunaway probably has both. First pitch to Dunaway. Taken low. Ball 1. Dunaway with a double and a single. Came around to score back in the 3rd inning. On the ground out from Houston Wright. Drives that one to deep left center field. That one's carrying at the track, at the wall, but it's off the top of the wall. Mustaine comes in to score from 3rd. Easter scores as well. And now Mason Dunaway with 2 doubles tonight. Along with a single, he's 3 for 3 in the All-Star game. Dunaway putting together quite a competition. Picks up 2 RBIs. His first 2 RBIs today. And now Casey Hare digging in. Hare 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out. First pitch to Hare, taken middle outside, but called the ball. 1 runner on second in Mason Dunaway following the 2-run double. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th in the 2020 TSL All-Star game. Hare reaching out of the zone. Grounds one to the second baseman, Hanchy. Makes a sidearm throw over to first to Hunter Cole for the 3rd and final out of the inning. We see a 5-0 score heading in to the top of the 5th inning as 2 runs come across for the South. On a couple of hits, no errors on part of the North defense. 5-0 our score. When we come back, the North looks to chip in to this 5-run deficit. JT Inskeep leads off. 7, 8, 9 due up. When we come back, my name is Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Kieran Conway, the new man on the mound for the South. 11.2 innings pitched in 5 games played. Just 2 starts. No wins, no losses to his credit thus far through the 2020 TSL season. 9 earned runs have come across on his behalf. 10 total on 13 hits, 13 walks, 14 strikeouts. I can't help but laugh every single time I have an interview coming up. Because I sit on the far left side of the press box, everyone comes up to this door, but this door is locked and it's broken. So there's no opening it. So everyone comes up, they knock, they'll jiggle the handle, and I just look at them and I give them a big swing to the other door. Marshall McDonald, our next interview subject in the bottom of the 5th inning. JT Inskeep leading off here in the top of the 5th.
I'll bring you on bottom half of the inning. I'll bring you on bottom half of the inning.
Count 2-0 to Inskeep, the leadoff man in the inning. 3-0. Taken inside for ball 4. Conway starts off his first inning of work with a walk. 5-0 still our score here in the top of the 5th after the 3-run bottom of the 4th from the South All-Stars. Ricky Sisto digging in. Swinging at the first pitch, but he's under that pitch. Falls behind 0-1. Sisto struck out swinging in his first appearance in the 3rd. A 1 to Sisto. Nice breaking pitch, but it doesn't quite find the zone. Count evens up at 1-1. Sisto with a .219 average thus far through 2020. Went 0 for 2 last night against Old Dominion. In 5 plate appearances, he walked 3 times. Brought in 2 RBIs, though, to improve his season total to 4. 2-0. 2-1 the count to the third baseman for the North. Off-speed pitch taken low and in. Count moves to 3 balls and 1 strike. No outs in the inning. The leadoff man, JT Inskeep, standing on first. Following the inning opening walk. The 3-1. Swung on and missed. Sisto once again underneath the pitch. Count fills up with no outs and a runner on first. The 3-2. Taken for a called strike 3. First out of the inning recorded for Kieran Conway. In the South defense, Zach Wojnarowski digging in. He also struck out swinging in the 3rd inning against Jake Rice, who came out of the bullpen for the South. First pitch with 1 away and 1 on, taken for a called strike. The lower half of the zone. Wojnarowski with a .341 average. As we take a pause in TSL play. Rips one on the ground to 3rd. Shane Easter with an awkward backhanded stop. The throw across the diamond is in time for the 2nd out of the inning. Easter flashing some leather over at the hot corner. As there are now 2 outs in the inning. Inskeep does move up to 2nd on the play. Back to the top of the order. For the North, Zach Morris, who's 0 for 2 today. Digging in an RBI opportunity as Inskeep takes a lead off of 2nd. First pitch taken from Conway for strike 1. Fans stay tuned. Steamers head coach Marshall McDonald joins me in the bottom half of the frame. Hoping to keep him for no more than an inning or so. Morris takes the 2nd pitch for a called strike 2. Nice bounce back from Conway, setting down the last 2 batters after giving up a base on balls in just 4 pitches to Inskeep to open up the inning. The 0-2, swung on, grounded to short, Dunaway. Timed well, fields it cleanly, makes the throw over to first in time for the 3rd and final out of the inning. No hits, no runs, 1 runner left on in the inning, however, for the North. No errors on part of the South defense. When we come back, the South picks things up with Houston Wright. Or I guess it will be, in fact, Cameron Reckling, who came in as a sub in the inning. My name is Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. The Steamers are excited to announce the upcoming Magic 95.9 night at historic Hicks Field on Friday, July 24th. One lucky fan will go home with $25,000 courtesy of Magic 95.9. Mark your calendars now. You will not want to miss it. Magic 95.9 is a proud sponsor of your Edenton Steamers. Tune in every weekday morning from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. and listen to Bill Benjamin, Magic 95.9, the music lovers station. 5-0 our score as we get set for the bottom of the 5th frame. The South looking to add to their lead. Cameron Reckling, the leadoff man in the inning. He'll face C.J. Morris, who comes in an inning of relief for the North. Morris with 6 games under his belt, 12 2/3 total inning pitched, with 11 earned runs coming across the score on his behalf, 18 hits, 10 walks given up, and 19 strikeouts. I'm now joined by Edenton Steamers head coach Marshall McDonald in his first year with the Steamers. Coach, a 13-5 record here at the All-Star break. You got to feel good about the direction your team is heading in towards the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we've been playing pretty good, and right now I think we're taking stride, and it's going to be a fun second half of the season.
So here in the All-Star game, we had a fun home run derby earlier tonight. A fun home run derby earlier tonight. That's Alberto Osuna Sanchez come away with the victory. Someone who's definitely put on quite a show thus far this season. But Houston Wright, Josiah Seiler also taking part in the competition. You had to throw quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it's a hot one out there today.
It was
How are you
hot.
feeling under all this heat? But how overall, what are your emotions and what are your feelings towards the All-Star festivities going on today here at Historic Hicks?
Feeling a little bit better physically now than I was at about 4 o'clock. But it's been a fun day. You know, a lot of guys getting to do some different things, and seeing the guys mingle with the other players of the other teams is always fun. And any kind of all-star show and things like that is always fun.
So you and I talked about this, I think, yesterday. Thus far in the season, 180 runs scored as a team in 18 games. You're averaging 10 runs per game.
Yeah.
When you assembled this team along with GM Tyler Russell, I know you had some help from your assistant coach Connor Daly as well when you kind of pulled all these guys together. Was the intent to bring in a team that would just pour in runs game after game after game, at least to the degree that they have thus far?
I don't think you ever planned for 10 runs a game, but we definitely, with my offensive mindset, it was something that I was trying to accomplish. I just didn't know it would be in such mass amounts early on. But yeah, we definitely were very offensive minded.
So coming into this season here in Edenton, in the midst of all this craziness, all this uncertainty going on in this country, the 2020 spring season canceled for all collegiate programs, was it hard for you to come assemble a roster of guys that wanted to come play? I know obviously a lot of these guys eager to finally get back into the swing of things, but obviously with the current situation, not necessarily the best circumstances to come play summer baseball. What was that experience like, trying to pull together a roster for this summer season in the midst of everything going on?
It was kind of a mixture of both. You know, you had some guys that were chomping at the bit, and you had some guys that would say, I want to come, and then, you know, parents may not let them or coach may not let them just because all the stuff going on, and some guys that really were just like, Coach, I don't want to even try right now. I just want to stay home. But, you know, I think everybody that we were able to put together is excited to be here and wants to play. So it was just kind of a mix of both here and there.
Alan Alonso works a walk to put 2 runners on here in the bottom of the 5th with just 1 away.
Just glad I didn't strike out again.
So let's talk a little bit more about these power bats you have here in Edenton. And, I mean, we have to start with Houston Wright. 10 home runs this season, leading the TSL in slugging percentage, 2nd in OPS, leading in RBIs, runs scored. We talked about expectations for this team, but him specifically, was this something you anticipated from Houston Wright, the product out of University of Tennessee Martin?
Yeah. I mean, Houston played for me last summer, and that's just what he does. You know, he can be very streaky, as we see, and when he's hot, he is El Fuego, and when he's not, he struggles a little bit. But being the short dimensions here at Hicks Field, I mean, I thought it would fit perfect for what Houston does, and I can see him getting hot again and possibly getting up to 18 or 20 home runs on the year.
18 or 20? That'd be impressive. That means just more fun for me.
Oh yeah, I mean he's definitely got it in him. You know, he was averaging 2 a game for about 3 games there, so it's not too bad. And if that, you know, if he can catch one of those hot streaks again, you never know what'll happen.
So when we brought every other player up here, I've had to ask them on their opinion of you, whether they've been a player of yours before or maybe a new player.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to be honest here, nothing but rave reviews. Everything's positive. All these guys love you, love having you as a head coach. Connor Daly, though, went on to say that he considers even a coach in his 30s to still be a young coach. You definitely have some years under your belt, but still a young coach. Now, a few years in, making a head coaching appearance here in Edenton, what advantage do you think it gives you being a 30-year-old head coach with years under your belt, not necessarily too close in age with these players with you, but still with that young player mindset in the back of your head?
Well, being closer in the age and, not up there quite yet, it's you still kind of understand what they go through and what the player needs and things on a day-to-day basis of playing every day. And from the coaching side, just now, this is, I think, my 5th or 6th year in summer ball altogether. You kind of know what to expect going in, and it's definitely a lot different as a head coach than it is as an assistant. And so just kind of, how to handle your day-to-day business and know how to adjust when problems arise, because they're always going to arise. It's just kind of the way things go. And it's cool to just get out there and kind of hang with the boys on the field, and then and know what to expect when it comes from the administration side off the field.
You talk about this group, one just hilarious group of guys, a fun group of guys. What's your favorite part about this group of Steamers, this team that you're coaching?
I mean, they're just fun to be around. You have teams that will mesh and gel, and you have teams that won't, and this team did probably the first 3 days. And just having a consistent roster and guys, they know their roles, and the roles have been established, and everybody is just kind of here trying to win. They're all happy to be here and play, which is kind of what the initial feeling was, but now it's just about winning and getting better for their hopeful fall season.
South Trimble in for his 3rd time tonight. Singled in his last plate appearance, came around to score.
He put on a pretty good show in the home run derby today.
He absolutely did. I was talking about that with Connor Daly. He was absolutely slept on going into that.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
He impressed, to say the absolute least. And now in an RBI opportunity.
I think it was that BP thrower he had.
It was you.
I know that. So he's a good kid. I've hung out and talked with him all day. And that's the good thing about these All-Star games is you get to see the other side come now be on your side, and get to talk with guys and chat it up about when we were arguing, maybe 2 weeks ago. And it's just kind of, it's a cool atmosphere, and I'm glad we got to host it here in Edenton for sure.
3-2 on the way to Trimble, taking the ball 4-0. With the bases loaded, Cameron Reckling comes in to score on the base on balls from third to increase the lead to 6-0 in favor of the South. So as mentioned, this is your first season here at Edenton. What's been your favorite part of the Edenton Steamers fan base, the town, overall, just your favorite part of the town of Edenton?
Westover subs, maybe. No, I mean, it's Edenton has definitely welcomed me with open arms, and it's a very small town, homey feel, kind of a lot like the place I grew up in, about 3 hours east of here, and it's just one of those places, like you say, from day one, I felt welcomed and felt warm, and it was just, it's a cool place to be, and everybody definitely knows who you are, especially when you have a beard and you're a steamer around here, so it's I can't really hide anywhere. So.
Trust me, as the voice, I get recognized.
Oh yeah,
so
I can imagine.
You guys, especially. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get to the look now. You've been growing that beard for how long?
I started this one. I actually had a beard before this when I coached the Lenoir Oilers in 2016, the Summer Ball League, which Brett Folk was there for that one. And I told them if they won the championship, I'd shave my beard, and we did. And then I shaved it, and then started it back again in October. So this has been going since October of 2016. And I did cut it half off one time when I got the job at Presbyterian because they wanted to see what I'd do to get a baseball job, I guess. But, yeah, so going on 4 years now.
So there's no way we can make a bet here on air that if we win the championship, same bet that you had with Brett Folk, that you'll shave it if we win.
No, because I got a lot of confidence in this team.
Jacob Mustaine at the dish. And he rips a 1-1 into right. Alan Alonso coming in to score from third. Josiah Seitler digging in all the way from second. Mustaine moves up to second base on the double, and South Trimble comes in to score. A bases clearing double for Jacob Mustaine as it's now a 9-0 lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning for the South. So we just had Connor Daly up here. And I want to talk to you now. What went into assembling this crew? Obviously, Connor was a player of yours. He has plenty of experience with you. But also James Stalin Jr., an assistant coach that doesn't really get enough credit, at least up in the booth here. He doesn't appear,
he's just a quiet guy.
Visits. He's not always constantly out there, and he's a quiet guy, like you just said. So what went into bringing this group of coaches together, and what have you really liked about them thus far leading a team to a 13-5 overall record?
Well, obviously, Connor played for me in 2015 summer, and he coaches at the junior college that I used to coach at, and he's assisting the pitching coach there. So I felt it would be a good opportunity to give him, full control of a pitching staff and things like that. And James was a guy, because we had another assistant who played at East Carolina, and he was supposed to come up and help out, and then he took a high school job late. And, with all the stuff going on, we just kind of stuck with James. And James actually reached out to me and said he was around being a high school coach and just wanted to come out and volunteer. And when the position opened, I asked him if he wanted to come on, full-time and hang out all the time, and he definitely jumped at it. And he's definitely been an asset. He's kind of the comic relief at times. He's the quiet, funny guy, and he kind of he busts his butt for us for sure.
1-0 the count to the pinch hitter.
Last name is Brewer.
For Alan Brown. Cade Brewer,
Yep.
catcher from the Tidewater Drillers. He rips one to center, and that one is going to drop. Mustang's going to come in from third. So this is an extended inning. Half inning. I'm not going to keep you any longer than this, so we're going to get right into the rapid fire.
Sounds good.
Basically what I've been doing with all the guys that have been coming up, asking rapid fire questions. You can answer them with as much or as little detail as you want. They start pretty simple, and they get a little bit more elaborate as we go along. So here we go. Favorite music artist?
Sammy Kershaw.
Favorite movie?
Rudy.
Favorite food?
Breakfast food.
Can you specify a little bit? What kind of breakfast food?
Eggs and hot sauce.
I actually love. That's new to me. Hot sauce on eggs, and I'm in love with it.
Yes.
Favorite fruit?
Favorite fruit? Probably orange.
Favorite baseball team?
Atlanta Braves.
Favorite baseball player of all time?
I got a random one. It's Andres Galarraga. He was a first baseman for the Braves in the early 2000s, late 90s. The big cat. That's why I became a first baseman. That and I was too slow to play anywhere else.
Favorite current baseball player?
He just get one?
Mason Dunaway drives.
Oh, not a good route. Not a good route.
Drops on the warning track. Almost hops over the wall, but the net in. One back in the book.
Favorite baseball player now? I mean, I don't know. I don't really have one. I see baseball 24/7, so I guess you can say all the players on all my teams, I guess, if you want to be politically correct there.
Favorite big leaguer?
Favorite big leaguer? I guess you can go Miguel Cabrera.
Now, one name you dropped to me, like, first day I was here, Aaron Judge, a teammate of yours in the Alaska League. You've also played with a slew of other big leaguers.
Yep.
Talk about what those experiences were like for you, and how playing with those guys who now play in the big leagues have kind of helped you with your coaching mindset.
Yep.
Now as a head coach here in Edenton.
Well, I knew I was going to be a coach because they were better than me, and they're playing in the big leagues, and I'm not. But no, I mean coming across coming across a bunch of guys that have either made it to the big leagues or B had already been to the big leagues and were back down playing me in the independent ball circuit, and just learning how to carry yourself and really not taking the game too serious, if I might. Just more of a understand it's an everyday thing, and if you live and die by each game, then you're going to get worn out, and just, Casey, and just understand good things and bad things are going to happen and just kind of teach you how to handle it. Casey, the little single right there. That was nice.
Scoring an RBI single from Casey Hare.
This guy
We're now 11-0 here in the bottom of the fifth. We'll get back to the rapid fire real quick. Favorite steamer?
Favorite steamer? It's obviously Patrick Foster. Duh.
Let's go. That's the first time anyone's even thought about me. Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tommy.
Let's go.
I mean, it was Tommy.
I actually am I was not expecting that answer whatsoever. I guess that should have been the obvious answer. You don't want to play any favorites. I get it. I'm going to take that as a W in the personal column now.
Tyler will probably get mad at me later for that one.
He doesn't care. Favorite baseball memory that you played?
I don't know.
That's quite a bank.
Yeah, I've had a ton. Just as a player or a coach?
We'll go player.
Player. Probably my first professional home run. And another good one is I have a home run off a Hall of Famer. Her name is Iri Yoshida. She's the first ever woman to play professional baseball. She was called the Knuckleball Princess. I was 1 for 9 with a home run off of her. So that was pretty cool. Not too many people have a home run off Hall of Famers. So that'd probably be it as a player.
What about your favorite memory as a coach?
Favorite memory, probably going to the World Series in my first year as a coach in junior college. We went all the way when I was at Catawba Valley Community College and finished third in the country. We were 2 outs away from going to the national championship game, and that was a special group of guys, and traveling around the country with them was very cool. So.
I had one more question, but I think I knew what the answer was, so I'll save that for another time. Only a few more questions before I let you go. This
Sounds
is
good.
Quite the extended inning. Something many people might not know about you that you've shared with me is in certain seasons you spend your time as a powerlifter. Talk about how you got into powerlifting and, if anything, what you use that for outside of staying in shape. Is that something you use for mental health as well, or is that something really just you do because you like staying physically active?
It was just more of something. Came across some guys when I worked at Presbyterian. The strength and conditioning coaches there were power lifters, and we just kind of jumped in with them and did their workouts, and just kind of, once I left, carried it on. And it really helps me because at Montreat I do a lot of the I do all the weightlifting for the baseball team and a couple other teams. So, it's always good to have a guy that understands and has been there and kind of helps you break down athletes individually, because obviously everybody's different, not everybody's the same. So it gave me a little kickstart to try to help train some athletes, and it's something to keep me healthy, and it can justify me eating a lot, which is what I like to do.
Last question for you, Coach, before we let you go. 13-5 here, thus far through 18 games in the regular season. Cameron Reckling flies out to left field for only the second out of the inning. Playoffs just 2 weeks away. What is your dream for this team? And at the very least, what do you want these players leaving Edenton having felt in this season, coming away with their biggest takeaways at least?
Obviously, we want to win the championship at the end of the year, but at the end of the day, you want the guys to have fun playing baseball and just enjoy the grind of a professional baseball-like experience, just because a lot of them won't get to, and that's just the unfortunate part of the game. I think some will, but just kind of show you the ins and outs of playing baseball every day, and the locker room fun, the bus fun, the not having any school ball, not having your school girlfriend around, it's just kind of guys hanging out with guys. And, summer ball is a place where you make lasting relationships. And I say all the time, I've been in probably 7 or 8 weddings, and 3 or 4 have been from summer ball, from guys that I've literally seen for, 2 months. And so you spend every day with them, and the hardest part of summer ball, honestly, is the day you leave, because it's cut off. It's like every day for 2 months, and then all of a sudden you're gone. So just want them to leave here and know they got better, they stayed healthy, number one, and had fun and learned to enjoy the game again. Because a lot of guys, put a lot of pressure on themselves and pressure to perform and this and that, and we just kind of want to get back to the basics and play baseball and have fun.
He is head coach Marshall McDonald of the Edenton Steamers. Coach, thanks so much for your time today. Really appreciate it, and enjoy the rest of the game.
Thanks, Patty.
We'll do.
You're not really my favorite call.
You said that on air. Obviously. It's going to be. Alan Alonso rips a single down the left field line. To catch you up real quick after the interview, 13-0 is our score here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 4 hits, now 5 off the Alan Alonso single. That moves Casey Hare all the way up to 3rd. Casey Hare with the last RBI in the inning. Josiah Seitler digging in for now the 4th time tonight. First pitch taken from Seitler for strike 1. Seitler fouls off the second for strike number 2.
We definitely have 2 outs in the inning.
0-2 swung on and fouled off towards the north dugout down the first base line. (0-2) still the count to Josiah Seitler. And Josiah Seitler set down swinging.
Left field from George Mason, number 14, South Trimble.
South Trimble digging in. Seitler goes down swinging now. 0 for 3 today with the walk. South Trimble comes in 1 for 1 with a pair of walks in 3 plate appearances. Swings over the top of a slider there. Falls behind in the count, 0-1. Runners in the corners, Alonso over at first, Hare at third. Brendan Kastner, the pitcher on the mound, came in out of relief in the midst of this 10-run bottom of the 5th. Making, in fact, an 8-run bottom of the 5th. My apologies. Trimble foul tips the 2-1 back into the catcher's mitt. Count evens up at 2-2. Pitch on the way. Fouled off into the dirt. Rolls off behind home plate. Full count. In fact, to Trimble at the plate with runners on the corners, 8 runs already come across in the inning. Trimble swings at a high fastball outside the zone, pops it up in the infield. Zach Morris, the shortstop, making the catch for the 3rd and final out of the inning. But the South All-Stars have started to run away with tonight's contest. 13-0 our score. 8 runs come across in the bottom of the 5th on 5 hits. No errors on part of the North defense. When we come back, the North looks to chip into this deficit. Trey Blow set to lead off. 2, 3, and 4 due up. My name's Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Thirteen to nothing our score as we begin the 6th inning. Brett Folk taking over in the top of the frame for the South. Folk, the pitcher for the Steamers, has collected 12 total innings thus far in 8 games.
You know what? That's a smart girl, that ass.
A 1-1 win-loss record, 3 earned runs given up by Folk in those 8 games on just 6 hits with 3 walks and 17 strikeouts, an ERA of 2.25. Trey Blow, the first batter. Folk faces out of the pen. Blow takes the first pitch for ball 1. Blow 1 for 2 tonight with a single. Swings at the second pitch. Over the top of it, but fouls it off. Straight into home plate. One on its way from Falk to Blow. That one's ripped on a line into left field. South Trimble now playing left as Cameron Reckling came in as a defensive substitution for Houston Wright, moving Trimble from center to left and Reckling taking over in center. Ty Hanchy now digging in for Alberto Osuna Sanchez. And she fouls off the first pitch. So the count 0-1 with now a runner standing on first with no outs. Ty Hanchy, the twin brother of Trent Hanchy, who got the start at second for the North All-Stars tonight. Both of them sophomores at Norfolk State. Ty Hanchy with a .346 batting average thus far through TSL competitions. Just one extra base hit to his credit, a double. That came against Old Dominion last night. The 1-1 to Ty Hanchy. Flown softly to center. Reckling already under it. In routine position out in left, or in center, my apologies. And that's the first out of the inning. Trey Blow nowhere to go at first. And that brings up Trent Hanchy. Trent Hanchy 0 for 1 tonight with a walk and a strikeout swinging. Takes the first pitch of this AB for a ball. South up 13-0 here in the top of the sixth. .1-0 taken low below the zone. Cade Brewer defensive substitution as well. Alan Brown officially subbed out of tonight's contest. .2-0 fouled off by Trent. I wanted to say Ty. So Trent Hanchy ahead in the count. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Up now from Sacred Heart, number 29, Jordan Banks.
Now Jordan Banks at the dish for the North with 2 runners on and just 1 away. First pitch to Banks. Taken inside. Low as well as that one wound up around the shins. 1-0 to Banks. Banks, a .345 average against Greenbrier last night. Went 1 for 3 with a single. He also walked once in the contest. Just 1 extra base hit to make it 2 with a double and a home run. Foul tip. Count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. .13-0 still the score here in the top of the 6th. 2 on, 1 out for the North, as they are the road team in tonight's competition. The 2-1. Check swing. Throw the strike by Eric Byram behind the plate.
And then she can get back into it, you know what I mean? That's the key. That's the key stuff.
So Jordan Banks in a full count against Brett Folk with 2 on and just 1 out in the inning. South still up 13-0. 3-2 taken inside for ball 4, and Brett Folk loads the bases. That brings up Luke Uff.
Right now from Thomas Hopkins, Cortland, number 18, Luke Uff.
Uff, 0 for 1 last night against Old Dominion. 250 average thus far in 2020. Making a pinch hit appearance for Wes Bonney, who's been subbed out of tonight's contest. Fouls off the first pitch, falls behind 0-1. A 1 taken inside, called ball 1. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. Slow breaking pitch from Folk that finds its way into the middle inside part of the zone. Count now 1-2 with 1 out and the bases loaded. Folk looking to keep this as a shutout contest. 1-2 swung on a miss, strike 3. Uff goes down swinging in his first plate appearance tonight. And that brings in Warren Bailey. Warren Bailey making a pinch hit appearance for Ricky Sisto, or JT Inskeep, my apologies. First pitch, swung on and fouled off. Bailey against Old Dominion last night, 1 for 2. He's played in just 3 contests for Greenbrier thus far, and has himself a 3-game hitting streak. Against Edenton back on the 16th, he went 3 for 3 with 3 singles, an RBI, and 2 walks in 5 plate appearances. On the season, 5 for 8 in 11 total plate appearances with 4 singles and a double. The double coming against Old Dominion back on the 15th. He's also got 2 RBIs to his credit, 3 runs scored as a runner, and 3 walks. He has yet to strike out. The 1-1 from Folk, taken deep on the inside part, inside that right-handed hitter's batter's box. Two on the count, 2 outs in the inning, bases still loaded. A base hit puts the first runs on the board for the North tonight. They're down 13-0 here in the top of the 6th. Bailey takes the 2-1 all the way in. Count moves to 3-1 as that one finds its way into the glove of Cade Brewer, too high and inside. The 3-1 from Folk, swung on and fouled off. That fills up the count. Change up from Folk that Bailey was behind on as he sends it over the first baseline bleachers. The 3-2 with 2 outs, bases loaded, taken for a called strike 3. Nice job by Brett Folk as he escapes the bases loaded situation with no runs scored. 13-0 still our score as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
This time we'd like to honor our
Old Dominion in the inning.
You are a military veteran, first responder.
Does not see a hit. They leave 3 runners on, however. No errors on part of the South defense. Jake Crumley to take over on the mound for the North when we come back. The South looks to add to their 13-0 lead as we honor our nation's veterans here at historic Hicks Field. Jacob Mustaine set to lead off. As the bottom of the order due up, Mustaine, Easter, and Brown when we come back. My name's Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Thirteen to nothing our score here in the bottom of the sixth. South leads, and they'll come back up to the plate looking to extend that 13-0 lead. 8 runs came in the bottom of the 5th inning for the South. Jake Crumley, the new man on the mound for the North from the Greenbrier Knights. First pitch sails high and inside over Mustaine's bat. Taken for ball 1. Crumley 3 games under his belt here in 2020, 6 2/3 innings collected. A win-loss record of 1-0, 2 earned runs allowed on 5 hits, 5 walks, and 9 strikeouts. His last appearance came against the Steamers here at historic Hicks. 2 1/3 innings worked. No runs allowed, 1 hit given up, 1 walk surrendered. But he struck out 5 Steamer batters. Still working to find his command as he falls behind 2-1 to Mustaine at the plate. 2-1 taken for ball 3. The 3-1. Swung on and popped straight up in the air. Grandstand, that one smacks up against the roof.
Hey, keep that celebrating, let's go.
Count fills up. To the leadoff hitter in the inning, Jacob Mustaine. 3-2 swung on and foul tipped right back into the mitt. And it's thrown away. Easter making his way down to second. The right fielder, Zach Wojnarowski, making his way over into foul territory to corral the misthrown ball. One out in the inning, and the South has yet another runner in scoring position. Shane Easter now over at second, following the reach on an error. First pitch to Cade Brewer in this his second at-bat tonight. Brewer singled into center field. Brought in 2 runs with that single. And he saw just 1 pitch. Evens up the count on the swinging strike. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 away and a runner on second and Shane Easter. The 1-1 with 1 away. Taken inside.
Hey, thanks. Let's see our crew in the beer garden. Get you a choice of beverage from Budweiser. Also, Ghost Hall's Brewer Wooden Seat Brew.
The 2-1. That one swung on. Sounded like he broke his bat on that swing. Fielded by Morris, who now stands over at second. Thrown over in time to first for the second out of the inning. Shane Easter does move up to third on the play. Morris moves over to second. As Trent Hanchy now at short. Jordan Banks taking over at first base. While Bo Gonzalez takes over in center for Trey Blow. Mason Dunaway digging in. Dunaway 4 for 4 tonight. A pair of singles and a pair of doubles in 4 plate appearances. Takes the first 2 pitches from Crumley for balls. 2-0 the count. The 2-0 fouled off. So the count moves to 2-1 with Easter waiting on third and 2 outs gone in the inning. 13-0 still our score here in the bottom of the 6th. The South out hitting the North 12-3. The 2-1. Taken for ball 3. Count moves to 3 balls and 1 strike. The 3-1. Foul tip back into the mitt of Warren Bailey. Must have stung Dunaway as he's clapping that left hand. Full count, 2 outs. Easter with the lead off of third. The 3-2. Taken way outside, gets past Bailey at the plate. Easter held up at third. Rightfully so, as the South sees themselves up big, 13-0. Casey Hare digging in. Hare with an RBI single in that 8-run bottom of the 5th. Dunaway with the lead off of first, following the walk. He remains 4 for 4 today. The 1-0. Taken low and in. Count moves to 2 balls and no strikes to Casey Hare. The 2-0 to Hare. Taken low and in for a strike. First strike of the at-bat. Hare still ahead in the count. 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 away and runners on the corners. The 2-1 now to Hare. Backs him off the plate. That one runs high and inside near the eyeballs. 3-1 the count. Crumley just looking to get out of the inning without allowing the South to score. South has scored at least 1 run in each of their last 4 plate appearances. Hare, hard ground ball to Morris at second. He drops down to field it cleanly. Make the throw over to Banks at first to retire the side. No hits for the South in the inning. They do leave 2 runners on.
Hey fans, as some of you know what that means, graduation. Part of this cookout season, let the Steamers throw your next get together.
One error on part of the North defense. A throwing error from pitcher Jake Crumley. We go to the top of the 7th. With the South still up big, it's 13-0. When we come back, it'll be Ricky Sisto leading off. With Zach Wojnarowski waiting in the 9-hole, then back to the top of the order, with Zach Morris also due up in the inning. My name is Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball, only on the Edenton. Again, I did it again. You're listening to Tidewater Summer League All-Star Baseball on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. College of the Albemarle has proudly served northeastern North Carolina for nearly 60 years. COA is North Carolina's first community college with 4 campuses across 7 counties, excellent educational programs, and a strong tradition in the Albemarle region. Their real passion is transformation of their students as they achieve their dreams and grow to better serve their communities. No matter your background, whatever your goals, at COA you'll transform your tomorrow. Visit their website today at www.albemarle.edu. Ryan Kutz taking over on the mound, making his All-Star debut in the TSL. Ricky Sisto at the dish. Sisto takes the first pitch for ball 1. The second one comes all the way in for strike 1 to even up the count. Sisto looking for his first hit today as well. Pair of strikeouts, one swinging, one looking.
Injuries, so Trey now out. Gonzalez, he was scheduled to pick the 9th, now playing center.
Hard ground ball to Easter at third. Ricochets off of his, looked like his glove, but I couldn't see it because of the papers in front of me. It'll be ruled as a single. Sisto picks up his first hit, and that brings up Zach Wojnarowski, who's 0 for 2 today as well. Ryan Kutz on the mound has thrown in 6 games for the Edenton Steamers thus far, with 7 2/3 innings collected, a win-loss record of 2-0, and an ERA of 4.7, with 4 earned runs allowed, 9 total, on 11 hits, 4 walks, and 8 punch-outs. Zach Wojnarowski fouls off the first pitch. He comes in with a .341 batting average. Last game against the Steamers here at historic Hicks, Wojnarowski went 1 for 3 with a double and 5 trips to the plate. Wojnarowski with 7 doubles to his credit, several of them coming here at historic Hicks. The 0-1, foul tipped, and that one took off the mask of Eric Byram behind the plate. But it looks as though Byram's all right. Double play ball in order for the South infield, with Ricky Sisto standing on first for the North. Still 13-0 here in the top of the 7th.
Because she's there tonight. Well, I'll buy it.
Now the 0-2 to Wojnarowski. Breaking pitch that finds its way into the zone for strike 3, and he knew it. Started walking out of the box, back to the dugout before Eric Byram had even made his ruling. And that brings us back to the top of the order with Zach Morris digging in for the 4th time. Looking for the first hit. I'm sure just trying to put something in the air, as he's been recorded out 3 times on 3 ground balls, twice to short and once to second. Runner on first, a double play ball ends the inning. Kutz, first pitch of the AB, swung on, grounded down the third base line, but way foul. 0-1 the count. To the starting shortstop, now at second base, Zach Morris. Won the count to Zach Morris. Second pitch. Low. Throw down from Cade Brewer behind the plate. It's not in time though, but a nice throw. Mustaine having to make a behind the back tag. But Ricky Sisto sliding in safely. Once from top to bottom on the scoreboard out and right. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and a runner on first. 1-1 swung on and missed. Nice pitch there from Kutz to set Morris behind in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 now from Kutz. Breaking pitch that doesn't find its way into the zone as Morris has to duck out of the way of it. 2-2 the count. Beautiful sky over the left field wall. Shades of pink and light blue decorating the horizon. The 2-2. Foul tipped. Brewer had it for a moment, but dropped it. Count won't move. With 1 out and a runner still on first in Sisto.
Well, I texted her and said, how's your operation? I said, is your operation in progress? I said, how's it going? She said, great. We'll be there.
Kutz with a 2-2 yet again. Grounded softly. Easter charging from third, bobbles it in his mitt. Won't drop it. But nice hustle out of the box from Zach Morris. As Easter has no play over at first. Morris picks up his first hit, now 1 for 4 in the 2020 TSL All-Star Game. So now 2 runners on for the North. Bo Gonzalez digging in. Gonzalez came in as a defensive substitution for Trey Blow. Blow exiting this contest with an unspecified injury.
Hats and kids' shirts down there.
No balls and 1 strike to start the AB against Gonzalez. Double play ball still in order for the South's infield. 0-1 swung on. Nice, beautiful slider from Ryan Kutz that had Gonzalez swinging that one, looking like he was blindfolded. No balls and 2 strikes. One out, the 0-2. Swung on, grounded back up the middle. Hare fielding it at second, but he can't field it cleanly. As the bases are loaded. Looked like a forced short double play, but Hare maybe thinking about that out at first before securing the out at second. And that brings up Ty Hanchey with 1 out Bases loaded. Coates with the first pitch to Hanchy. That one swung on and driven to center field. Cameron Reckling on the run, but that one bounces up against the wall by the Bud Light sign. One run comes in Sisto. Zach Morris comes in to score as well, as the shutout is no more. 13-2 now our score here in the top of the 7th. On a double from Ty Hanchy. Hanchy now 1 for 2 today. Flew out to center in his first plate appearance, but his second one, a line to center field that hits off the wall and brings up his twin brother Trent Hanchy. First pitch swung on and lifted in the air down the third base line, but this one drifts far foul. Two runners on, both in scoring position. One out in the inning. 0-1, taken low for ball 2. Not quite sure where that ball missed, but Eric Byram behind the plate ruling it ball 1. Evens up the count with 1 out and 2 on. 13-2 our score here in top 7. The 1-1. Popped up to shallow right. Casey Hare backtracking into the outfield grass to make the catch for the second out of the inning. That puts 2 outs on the board and brings Jordan Banks up to the plate.
First base from Sacred Heart, number 29, Jordan Banks.
Banks drew a walk in his first plate appearance tonight, coming in as a substitution for Hunter Cole. Takes the first pitch for ball 1. Coates looking to escape the inning with just 2 runs scored. The 1-0. That one's popped up in the air. Reckling giving chase. Puts this one away in left center for the third and final out of the inning. 2 runs come across in the inning for the North on 3 hits. 1 error on part of the South defense. 13-2 our score as we head into the bottom half of the 7th frame, 7th inning stretch time here at historic Hicks Field. Cameron Reckling due up to lead off with Alan Alonso and Josiah Seidler. Also set up to the dish when we come back. My name's Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Work. Cameron Reckling leading off. Here in the bottom of the 7th, South holds a lead 13-2. It's an 11-run lead. Following the 2-run top of the 7th from the North, thanks to a 2-run double off the center field wall from Ty Hanchy. New pitcher on the mound now for the North, Jeremiah Hardy, who in fact won Pitcher of the Week in the TSL after the first week of play. 4 games to his season statistics as Reckland pops up the 1-0 to left field. The center fielder, Bo Gonzalez, coming all the way over to steal that one from Luke Uff. Hardy, though, through 4 games played, just 7 innings collected, 1 earned run has come across to score on his behalf. He's also walked 5 batters and struck out 6, hit just 2. 1 out in the inning, though, here in the bottom of the 7th for the South. Alan Alonso digging in. Alonso, first pitch swinging, ground ball to short. Trying to hand you with the play over there at short. For the second out, 2 up, 2 down for the South here in the bottom of the 7th. Josiah Seitler digging in. Seitler hitless today, 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a walk. He's also flown out to 2 sides of the outfield, left and center. First pitch to Seitler, a curveball. Hardy finds its way into the high part of the zone. Outside as well, called strike 1. Would have been a tough pitch to hit for Seitler. The 0-1 on its way. Inside, as Seitler puts on a display of some fancy footwork to avoid being hit. Count moves to 1-1. Two outs in the inning. Seitler in a 1-1 count. No runners on base for the South. 13-2 the score here in the bottom of the 7th. Seitler swings at the 1-1, pops it up down the third base line. Sisto jogging into fair territory, but watching as that ball smacks up against the concrete, out of play. Seitler behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. The pitch from Hardy. Slow moving curveball. It doesn't drop. 2s from top to bottom now on the right field scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 outs, and 2 strikes. The 2-2. Swung on a missed strike 3. Seitler down swinging for the 2nd time tonight. Now 0 for 4 with a walk. 3 up, 3 down in the inning for the South. They still lead 13-2 as we head into the 8th frame, the penultimate inning in tonight's contest. When we come back, Luke Uff leads off in the top of the 8th. As 6, 7, and 8 are due up for the North. My name is Patrick Foster. You're listening to TSL All-Star Action, only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. at historic Hicks. Penultimate frame of tonight's contest. 13-2 our score. Ray Stokeham on the mound out of Lenore Ryan University. Luke Uff leading off. Man, that run from the restroom back up here is a long one. That should be a new Olympic competition. Anyway, I'm joined now by Edenton Steamers General Manager Tyler Russell, who, without, I don't think we'd be seeing a season here in the TSL. Tyler, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing really just fine.
Good.
We've had some great All-Star festivities today.
We have.
Started with the Home Run Derby, All-Star game today. How have you enjoyed today's contest?
I have enjoyed it a lot. This is the first time that we have hosted an All-Star game in Edenton since 2001. Johnny and Tommy could tell you how poorly that event went, thanks to Mother Nature. But we were very happy to be able to do this, very proud to be able to host it. It's certainly not the season and not the event we had originally envisioned, but we're making the best of the situation and glad to put on the show for the fans.
So I think with the GM on the mic, I don't think there's any question after those two preliminary questions that I could ask, other than how in the world do you construct a season, construct a team in the middle of a global pandemic, one that shut down sports all across the world, all across the country. Collegiate sports were shut down. Talk about the process of setting up this season, setting up this team, and just the craziness that must have went into it.
It has been a very stressful few months for me, for sure. Not just myself, but the whole board of directors. Commissioner Mike Dooley, Marshall. Everybody involved has worked really hard to get to where we are. We had to make a lot of changes on the fly, just as anybody that's still playing ball right now. It's not what they had originally planned. We had to push the start of our season back. We had to completely scrap our schedule and rewrite it, and then rewrite it again after we had already changed it. But the logistics of getting everything together and getting the guys on the field was not that hard, really. There's a lot of guidance out there from the state of North Carolina and the CDC and the HWO and all of that, and we've put those guidelines into place the best we can, while at the same time letting adults be responsible. We feel like everybody's been safe inside the ballpark. We've kept the players as safe as we can by screening them all the time. We've just done the best that we can to put these guys in a position to play baseball again. I mean, these guys were off the field for 3 months by the time they finally made it to us. And early on, as you know, they were very rusty, but these guys are really getting into their stride now, and it's really fun to watch this team now when they're at the top of their game. So it really was stressful and a lot to get here, but now that we're here, it's kind of hard to look back at all the work we did and see what we really had to do to get to this point.
So you talked about some of the changes you had to make not only within how the team operates, but also how the game day operations go about. Talk about some of the changes you had to make in the ballpark and some of the restrictions that you had to now put in place in order to best abide by the rules and regulations that have been brought about because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Well, starting at the front gate, we added an online ticket option, which is something we've never had here before in Edenton, and it's really just because the market has not required us to do that. But we have offered an online ticket option, which is contactless. People can buy their tickets ahead of time and get here and show on their phone and come on in the ballpark. We've taken away the good old-fashioned ticket taker at the ballpark, where you hand them your ticket and they tear off your stub, and that's that. We've taken that away. We've got hand sanitizer all over the place. We have scaled back some of the different food options we had, where just say in the clam shack down there where we sell drink and ice cream, we used to have a hot dog roller in there. We took that away. In the donut tent, we had a popcorn machine. We took that away. We had a bounce house. We took that away. A lot of these high contact and unnecessary options that were there, we tried to scale those back and simplify the operation. In the stands, we have every 6 feet marked. A lot of people do seem to abide by that. Families will sit together, couples, groups, whatever that may be, and a lot of people are smart about it. There's some people in here wearing masks, which is always encouraging to see that people feel comfortable enough to come out and enjoy baseball while still protecting themselves as well. And down in the concession stand, we took away just a regular condiments table of where we used to have fresh lettuce and tomato and onions for your burger and your hot dog, and now we don't. There's no more pump mustard and ketchup like you would go in any fast food joint. We just took away a lot of simple things that you never really thought about in the past, where you and other people were touching the same items. And that's really what it came down to, was just simplifying the operation and making it easier and safer for people to come in and sit down and watch baseball.
One out in the inning for the North, as they see runners on the corners. Luke Uff standing on third, Warren Bailey on first. Bailey with a no-out double to right field. Ricky Sisto set down on strikes for the first out of the inning. Now Zach Wojnarowski back up at the dish. 2-1 count. 2-1 swung on and missed to even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So let's talk a little bit more now, Tyler, about the team that you've constructed this year here in Edenton. I was talking with head coach Marshall McDonald a little bit about it. 180 runs scored through 18 games. That puts you at an average of 10 runs per game. Obviously, no one can plan as Wojnarowski gets hit by the pitch to load the bases from Ray Stokeham. Obviously, no one can plan for a team to average 10 runs a game. But when you're constructing this team, are you thinking about, we want a team that's going to be a powerhouse offense that's going to roll in runs after runs after runs, or is this kind of something that happened based off of the flow and the overall just way these guys came into this season? I mean, when you look at guys like Houston Wright, Alan Alonso, and even Josiah Seidler, who struggled thus far, they've really torn it up at the plate. So is that something that you had in mind, like, from the get-go, or is that something that's just kind of materialized by itself?
Yeah, well, for starters, I have to give Marshall most of the credit. He put together the majority of this team. The last couple of years, I had been a lot more involved with the recruiting aspect of it. But this year, with getting into a new league and all the other things that I had going on before the virus even showed its face to us, I kind of took a step back and let Marshall do it. I did do the recruiting before I hired Marshall, and some of those guys are on the field tonight. There's a couple of them that are in the All-Star game, so it is fun to see those guys have come a long way from September when I first signed them to now. But when it comes to what I look for when I do recruiting, this is what I want to see. I do look for guys that are very successful at the plate offensively. As far as pitchers go, you look for a guy that throws a lot of strikes. And early on, unfortunately, our guys weren't doing that, which they are now, which that's just more of them rounding themselves into baseball form. But it certainly is surprising to see this offense do as well as they have. And a few of the guys that landed here are here because of the virus and because their original team in their league got shut down. So we were very fortunate in that with Houston, especially, supposed to go to the Cape Cod League. And a guy that was, probably on some draft boards if we had a full 40-round draft this year. So we've been very fortunate in that aspect to have the team we have. We've kind of taken advantage of the situation and kind of brought in more guys than we typically would have, but it's worked for us very well. This is about the best offensive team that I've seen when it comes to scoring runs, and hit a lot of home runs too. We up until a couple nights ago, we had at least one home run in every game. So it is a very impressive team, and this ballpark does play small, but we hit a lot of home runs that are going out of any ballpark. We're not picking up a lot of cheap home runs here, so it is fun to see, and it's it's fun for the fans to watch us put up a lot of runs. That gets them engaged and gets them excited about coming back for another game.
Outside of this offense, just based off of how the players interact with each other, maybe the bullpen, this coaching staff, what really separates this team from other Steamers teams that you've spearheaded in the past?
That's a tough question. It is, when it comes to the friendship that these guys have, it seems that they have clicked very well. And there's been a couple teams that I have been here for that never clicked. It is very tough to do that because these guys are coming from all over the country, all walks of life, a lot of different programs where they're treated a lot differently, just based off of, whether it be Division I, II, III, junior college, what they have available for them. It is very amazing, really, to look at how you can throw all these guys together and really have a functioning team with every direction they come from. But I think that would be the biggest thing, is just how quickly these guys became friends and how much they enjoy each other's company.
Second goes to Georgia State, number 17.
2 runs come in for the North to make it a 13-5 contest. 1 run came in earlier on a ground out with a runner on third. Ty Hanchey picking up a couple more RBIs to his credit tonight. Now 4 for the sophomore out of Norfolk State. So I won't keep you for too long, Tyler. We're going to go straight into this rapid fire. I've done that with pretty much everyone I've brought up here. The questions are pretty fun and lighthearted. They start easy, and they get a little bit more elaborate as we go along. Feel free to provide as little or as much detail as you want.
All right.
First question, favorite music artist?
Jimmy Buffett.
Out of all of our conversations that we had, that shocked me. Favorite song? Doesn't have to be by Jimmy Buffett.
That's a tough one on the favorite song. There's really just so many that I can't really choose one. No.
You have a favorite Jimmy Buffett song?
A Pirate Looks at 40.
I thought you were just going to play it safe and go Margarita.
No, so that's the thing. When you're really involved with one particular artist, you know those songs that other people don't really know that well. So that's one of those that, it's not one of his more well-known songs, but I really like it.
Favorite movie?
Forrest Gump.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm getting some surprises.
But if I had to go with the baseball, I would say The Sandlot.
Sandlot? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Favorite food?
Anything buffalo chicken.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Favorite fruit?
That is there's so many to choose from. I would have to say a Honeycrisp apple.
Love the detail.
Not all apples are created equally.
Oh, yeah,
A Honeycrisp to me is far above any other apple. You got to pay more at the grocery store, but it's worth it.
Favorite baseball team?
New York Yankees.
Favorite baseball player currently?
Currently, I was a big Derek Jeter fan. I really don't have a current. I guess Aaron Judge. I guess he's going to kind of hopefully become my favorite player for the next 10 to 12 years. If he can stay healthy. You know how that goes. You're a Yankee fan.
Over here My gosh. Favorite baseball player of all time?
Jeter.
Yeah. Favorite baseball memory? You had quite a long playing career. What's your favorite memory of baseball that you played?
It'd probably be my senior year of high school. And we had a really good team. We were at a small 1A school that wasn't supposed to be that good. We finished 7th in the state that year. Made it to the 4th round of the playoffs, which is something that my high school had not really gotten close to in the past. I picked up a couple of home runs in the playoffs, so it was fun. It was a fun run with those guys to be able to do that.
Favorite baseball memory that you watched?
Probably us winning the Pettit Cup championship here in 2015 when we were in the Coastal Plain League. That was pretty fun. That was an extremely impressive baseball team, and we had 12 guys drafted off of that team, which is crazy to think about one summer ball team having 12 guys drafted. There's a couple of those guys that have made it to the majors now. We had the league hitter of the year and pitcher of the year that year. The hitter of the year was 1 RBI short of the Triple Crown. The pitcher of the year was 1 out away from a perfect game here. So that was just really fun to watch that team for the whole summer just dominate.
Before we let you go, last rapid fire question. Favorite steamer that you've ever watched?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'll say Chad Setio. He was the CPL hitter of the year in 2015, and every time he went to the plate, kind of like Houston Wright, you just expect something good to happen. And he was a great kid. He was kind of a utility guy. He never really found a position for the summer, but you could depend on him to drive in a run every night and pick up a home run. So he was probably my favorite to watch over the years so far.
He is Tyler Russell, General Manager of the Edenton Steamers. Tyler, thanks so much for your time today.
Thanks, Patrick.
Enjoy the rest of the game.
All right.
South up 13-5 as we head into the bottom of the 8th inning. 3 runs come across for the North. A couple of hits in the top of the 8th. We go now to the bottom of the frame. South looking to regain that lead. Jeremiah Hardy back on the mound for the North. My name is Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Bottom of the 8th inning. The South up on the North, still 13-5 after the 3-run top of the 8th for the North. South Trimble leading off for Tidewater. For the South, he's just wearing the Tidewater blue, so I'm sorry. 13-5 the score. South Trimble swing and a miss on the first pitch from Jeremiah Hardy to open up the bottom of the 8th.
Tyler, can you do me a favor and tell Rachel to make sure Mason's up there and run away after the game that we can get that interview with him? Appreciate it.
Shortstop and second base at this week.
That happened a couple of years ago. I meant to tell you that I told you about.
1-1 the count following the second pitch ball. 1-1 swung on. On top of it is Trimble. Sisto with a tough time fielding it over there in the hot corner. South Trimble reaches first base safely on the second error
First base
of the night for the North. Third total in the contest.
Fans are sold out of hot food. We still have candy and drinks down in the concession stand.
Jacob Mustaine up at the dish. Mustaine with a pair of singles to his credit thus far. In 4 plate appearances, he's struck out once and walked in the other 2. Takes the first pitch for a ball. South Trimble standing on first base with no outs in the bottom of the 8th. Second pitch to Mustaine. Taking middle away for strike 1. Count evens up at 1-1. Closing in on our second completed hour of action. Or third, in fact. I'm so used to games starting at 7 o'clock here at Historic Hicks that I've just been confused all night. I'm sorry. Thank the goodness this game doesn't count towards anything. The 2-1 to Mustaine fouled off back into the netting off the end of the bat. Count evens up at 2-2. If you're still tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's TSL 2020 All-Star Game. We appreciate your viewership, and we hope that you've enjoyed tonight's interviews and contest. We've tried to keep the calling of the game lighthearted simply because it doesn't count towards anything, and an opportunity to get some guys on the mic that haven't seen the mic that this season, as Jacob Mustaine strikes out looking. Mustaine with his second strikeout tonight. Shane Easter digging in with 1 out, and South Trimble still standing on first. Easter with a pair of singles that came back in the 4th and 5th innings. Reached on an error in his last at-bat in the 6th. Trimble taking a lead off of first. Pitch from Hardy to Easter. Taylor made for 2. Morris can't field it as it gets through his legs and into right center field. Trimble going to be held up at third. Easter makes his way up to second. And if you want to know just how lighthearted we're taking this, our mascot is currently coaching third base. He's not in a mascot uniform, of course. Hot shot from Cade Brewer off the bat in the first pitch of the AB, and that one clears the wall. A home run to make this a 14-5 contest. Cade Brewer with the only home run of the night thus far for either side. A 2-run bomb. Or make it a 3-run bomb, in fact. My apologies, as Easter and Trimble were both standing on second and third to make it a 16-5 game. So that would have been the first home run that Jeremiah Hardy had led up in the TSL season, but of course tonight doesn't count towards any statistics. Mason Dunaway back up at the plate. Dunaway 4 for 4 tonight with a walk in his 5th plate appearance. Dunaway, our player of the game for the TSL All-Star game here in 2020. We were going to name an offensive and defensive player of the game, but Dunaway earning both of those honors. Count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. Our PA announcer Tommy Bass joking that the award for Player of the Year in the TSL will be an Edenton Steamers t-shirt. The 2-1 to Dunaway. Low and outside. Count moves to 3-1 with 1 out. The 3-1 now from Hardy. Swung on, grounded hard back up the middle, and this man is 5 for 5 in the All-Star game. Mason Dunaway, 5 for 5, 2 doubles, and 3 singles with a walk in 6 plate appearances. He's as hot as they come at the plate. And that brings in Casey Hare, who's 1 for 5 tonight. 3 ground outs, a fly out that came back in the first, but his single, an RBI single at that, back in the 5th. Hare ahead in the count, 1-0. Double play ball is in order for the north infield, with Dunaway standing on first following the 1-out single to center. The 1-0, taken high. Ball 2. In a league that has seen several games end with 20 or more runs scored, games in which both teams eclipse the 12-run mark, and games in which at least one team eclipses the 20-run mark, it is only fitting that the All-Star game sees 22 runs, or 21 runs for that matter, as Hare flies out to shallow left for the 2nd out of the bottom of the 8th. Hare 1 for 6 in tonight's All-Star game. Now up Cameron Reckling, who came in as a defensive substitution for Houston Wright in the 5th. Hardy looking to get out of the inning with just 3 runs scored. Cade Brewer bringing all 3 across with 1 swing of the bat on 1 pitch in his AB in this bottom of the 8th inning. So the South matching the scoring output of the North in the top of this frame. 1-1 the count to Reckling, with 2 away and Dunaway still standing on first. The 1-1. Way outside, gets past Bailey behind the plate. Dunaway now moves up to second. So another runner in scoring position for the South. with a 2-1 count, facing Cameron Reckling at the plate. Reckling 0 for 3 today. Picked up an RBI with a sacrifice fly back in the 8-run bottom of the 5th for the South. The 2-1, swung on and missed. As Reckling goes down swinging. The third out of the bottom of the 8th recorded. 3 runs do come across for the South, though, on 2 hits. And an error from the North defense. When we come back, the North looks to cut down this 11-run deficit. 16-5 our score. Top of the 9th coming up. And a surprise on the mound when we come back. I'll save it for the top of the 9th. My name is Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Doug Williams Rick Gilbert Refrigeration, Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has been serving residents and businesses in the Elizabeth City and surrounding areas since 1974. They are a full-service licensed and insured refrigeration, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning contractor. Customer service is their #1 priority. They provide honest, ethical, and reliable service to every one of their customers. Give them a call today at 252-338-3051. Houston Wright on the mound for the Edenton Steamers. Looking to close things out for the South in tonight's All-Star contest. Faces Luke Uff, the leadoff man in the inning. First pitch taken for a ball. Second pitch taken for a ball high and a bit inside. Swing and a miss on a breaking pitch from Uff, way out in front of it. Count moves to 2-1 strike. The 2-1 taken for a called strike 2. Count evens up at 2-2. (3-2) following the ball low below the zone. Right with a third of an inning pitched this season. It came back earlier in this season as Uff goes down on strikes. One out in the inning. Wright's last appearance on the mound came against Tidewater back on July 2nd. He recorded 1 out in just 1 pitch when he came in the later innings. Warren Bailey digging in with 1 out. Recorded against the North here in the top of the 9th. Bailey with a solid day thus far. Came in the 6th inning, 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout looking. First pitch taken for a ball, second pitch taken for a ball outside. Count moves to 2-0. The 2-0. Swung under. Bailey falls to 2-1. Fouls off the 2-1. Count moves to 2-2. Two pitch coming up from Houston Wright. Breaking pitch. Looked like it might have got somewhat or a part of the top of the zone, but Eric Byram signaling that one landed a bit too high at the letters of Warren Bailey. Full count pitch. Taken for ball 4. Now Ricky Sisto digging in. Sisto with a hat trick already tonight. 3 strikeouts, 2 of them looking. He also has a single that came back in the 7th. First pitch to Sisto's taken for strike 1. Double play ball in order for the south infield. Double play ball ends tonight's contest. Popped up in the air down the right field line. Mustaine making his way into foul territory to make the catch for the second out. The North down to their final out. 16-5 still the score here in the top of the 9th. 1 runner on first following the walk to Warren Bailey. Zach Wojnarowski, the 9-hole hitter for the North in today's starting lineup, digs in with 2 strikeouts against him tonight, looking to avoid the hat trick. First pitch from right in the AB taken high and in. Ball 1. And you heard what our GM Tyler Russell said when he was on the microphone. Wright was supposed to go into the Cape Cod League. Now, you can break down U.S. summer ball leagues into different tiers. Cape Cod's right at the top, tier 1. The 1-1 from Wright. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Wright was supposed to play in the Cape Cod League, and as you heard Tyler also say, he probably would have been on some draft boards had we seen a normal MLB draft this year. The 1-2 from Wright, grounded hard to third. Easter plays it on a hop. The throw over to first in the dirt, but Mustaine holds on to it for the 3rd and final out. 16-5 is the final score.
16-14-1.
The South comes away with the victory in the 2020 Tidewater Summer League All-Star Game. They out-hit the North 14-8, and the North picks up 3 errors to the South's just 1. Mason Dunaway, the player of the game, as he finished 5 for 5 in 6 plate appearances with 3 singles, 2 doubles, and a walk as well. That's going to do it for this edition of Tidewater Summer League Baseball. Both teams shaking hands, fist bumps. A nice sign of sportsmanship here at historic Hicks Field. Once again, 16-5 the final. The South come away with the victory. My name's Patrick Foster. Thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's All-Star action. We return to TSL play tomorrow. The Edenton Steamers play at 7 o'clock and take on the Tarboro River Bandits on the road in an exhibition contest. While the rest of the league returns to TSL action, the Steamers return to TSL action on Tuesday, July 22nd, when they come back here to historic Hicks Field to take on the Greenbrier Knights for the 8th time this season. My name's Patrick Foster. You're listening to You listened to TSL 2020 All-Stars game here at historic Hicks. Thank you so much for tuning in.
We want to congratulate.
Have a great rest of your evening. Stay happy, stay healthy, but most importantly, stay beautiful, baseball fans.
5 at the plate. 2 doubles and 3 singles. Congratulations to Mason. And he's about as high.